Honorable Minister, please don't take us back.
I can even give you the name of the National Security Operative, Mr. Apia, caused Adaklu Kodiabe to be raided 2017, the whole town on lockdown, because I'm a member of Parliament for Adaklu from Kodiabe. I'll at the right time seek your indulgence to bring to you. So if today an individual, Ken Oforiatta, is raided, consider that versus the whole of Adaklu Kodiabe raided. Is the law only good when it comes to your side, Mr. Speaker? Raiding whether Ken Oforiatta or that Adaklu Kodiabe illegally is wrong. But let them know that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, now my ruling. Yes, okay, you speak then now. Hold on. Yes, Nana, my ears out.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker,
sit down.
Mr. Speaker, we appreciate the fact that the interpretation of the standing orders lies in your bosom. We accordingly are grateful for the opportunity to contribute.
Sit down.
To contribute.
Sit down. You can't be standing like that.
We are accordingly.
You are already up.
We are accordingly grateful.
Honorable Andrew, please take your seat. You take your seat. Honorable Andrew, please take your seat.
We are accordingly grateful that Mr. Speaker is indulging our opinion before you give a ruling on this matter. Mr. Speaker, very respectfully, with the standing orders, there is one fact to it, which is that where timing is of essence, it says so. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, there are times when the standing orders require that prior notice is given. And where prior notice is not required, it's also stated. Mr. Speaker, in the specific matter of Order 93-1, Mr. Speaker would realize that it's an exceptional circumstance. It's an exceptional circumstance because, Mr. Speaker, it talks about the procedure for dealing with statements in the House. But when it comes to 93, it is a matter of notwithstanding 91 and 92. So, Mr. Speaker, 91 expressly states the procedure for adopting or dealing with statements in this House by the Speaker. 92 deals with ceremonial speeches. And then when you come to 93, it talks about by the indulgence of the House and the leader of the Speaker. In other words, with leave of the Speaker. In other words, notwithstanding the provisions of 91 and 92, Mr. Speaker, by the indulgence of the House and the leave of the Speaker, Mr. Speaker, a member may explain a matter of personal nature, which is that in urgent situations, Mr. Speaker, if the interpretation being put to it by the learned leader of the House very respectfully were to hold sway, it will mean that, Mr. Speaker, urgent matters cannot be dealt with unless we can get the attention of the leadership of the House. Mr. Speaker, in the circumstance of this matter, this is a matter which has just come to our attention. That is the matter of the raiding of the house of Mr. Ken Oforiatta. Mr. Speaker, what time are we going to get to confer with the leadership of the majority? Mr. Speaker, how do we deal with urgent matters in the circumstance? Mr. Speaker, we are saying that. Mr. Speaker, If this interpretation were to be adopted, it would defeat the purpose of Order 93.1. Mr. Speaker, if the thinking of the framers of the law were that there should be prior agreement between leadership and prior leave of the Speaker, that would mean that, Mr. Speaker, the word prior would have been put there. There's nothing like that, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I'll take the last one from Honorable James Agaga.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the matter that has caught our attention is what meaning we ought to place on Order 93. To do that, Mr. Speaker, I want to make it clear that we must read Article 93 as a whole to be able to construe its import. Now, the majority leader started off by making it very clear that the practice of the House in relation to statements of this nature that the Deputy Minority Whip attempted to make is that you'd engage with leadership and hold some prior consultation with Mr. Speaker. And when Mr. Speaker grants you leave, at that point, you can rise, and when Mr. Speaker allows you to make your statement, you proceed to make it. Now, Mr. Speaker, what is of particular importance is that my understanding of Order 93 as a whole, when read, is that the statement, no matter how urgent it is, must even be scripted. It must be scripted. And let me demonstrate that in a moment. Let me demonstrate that in a moment, Mr. Speaker. Let me read. 93 says, one says, by the indulgence. Mr. Speaker, do I have the floor? By the indulgence of the House and leave of the Speaker, a member may explain a matter of personal nature. And here, the matter the Minority Whip attempted to make is not of a personal nature. Or make a statement on a matter of urgent public importance. I think the matter is settled. It is of public urgent importance. Then 2 says, reads as follows. The proposed statement shall be admitted by the Speaker. Now 3. The text of the statement as admitted shall be read when a member is called upon to make the statement. Mr. Speaker, the point I'm making is that please. Mr. Speaker,
wait for him.
Mr. Speaker, 3 talks about text. Well, let me read the 4. 4 says what? A statement other than a personal statement may be commented upon by other members for a limited duration of time, not exceeding 1 hour. This is about commentary. But Mr. Speaker, the 3 says the text, it talks about text, which means the statement must even be scripted. When the Minority Deputy Whip stood up to make that statement, he was not reading from a script. So it is the script which is admitted by Mr. Speaker, which can only be read and commented upon. So let us not misconstrue the meaning of urgent public importance to mean that anybody can get up and take the House by surprise, ambush the House with a statement.
Very well. Honourable members, This is my ruling. This is my ruling. And I think the ruling should guide the House going forward for the good of all of us. Henceforth, I'm coming. You please allow me. Henceforth, any matter relating to Article Stand Orders 93, please, if you are a member, please discuss it with your leadership so that the leadership will also share with the other side. I don't think it's anything that is difficult. Then you should also share whatever you want to do with the presiding officer or the speaker, so that it will go with the standing order 93. So with this, hello, honorable members, with this, now I've taken judicial notice of the leave the member is trying to seek from the chair. The leave is granted now. But meanwhile, what he has already said, I will order that one to be expunged from the records, and now grant him the official platform to raise the issue. Please, are you listening to me? What I'm saying is what he has already said. I will order that is expunged from the official records, and now grant him the official floor to raise the issue. Now I've taken delivery of the notice. So that is my order. But henceforth, this is how we are going to go. If you are coming with any statement which is a statement you consider it to be urgent, please discuss with your leadership and share with the speaker, so that, yes, so let's go by that so that we avoid this. So now I grant you the floor to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for
leader. That is my
Okay, memo akwaba de ba TV XYZ baby a wo hwe me bia. Wo so tie Power 97.9 FM so memo akwaba de ba dwumadi so dwumadi a ya to the day inside politics na waso egusui Wednesday's edition. Edi am this year Nicholas ya Owusiosen obetumi Afromike Nicholas. Ewie maboafo mo bo machi don ma ye de dwumadi ebro Mr. Kelvin Asante, executive producer director, ye Mr. Ralph Jampo, sa so na Mr. Peter, Uncle Peter so boy chi don mo cameras ha ubehu Willie wa ha ubehu Francis ekuku dami ansana Mr. Emmanuel Neti na yaka boma ye the ingest na information education bi a wo hia no ye mfembra wo inside politics jumedie so enti catch on ye bi na no so country ni ne bi na mo mfento eye TVXYZ and now what would me Power 97.9 FM ye ND enkomo yaji nkonya atena so di ensemble brenanka sana egu bamba so a ye ba bedin komo enti be pa cho ye krado ye baba ba mu ye behwe nsem egu ho na ya baba mu di nkomo mo wehu se no kre sem ukoso Ghana na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama one na pamfo no so ebu adwuma ye papa ti ye krado menum nso abada me ba ye beto adwuma die so. Mesamo akwaba biom de ba inside politics jumedie so nsema egu bamba so na menoba ebedi eho enkom prosecutor office make say ye special prosecutor nankasa ye friend lawyer kisi ejaben ene ordinano semdi edidudwa de to media nanim trema ekoso dwumedia OSP no OD OSP ne du baby na yentene nka bada no enya ne pe because du baby na aban na nka so yi na san aka na hye temokai mbe bi obeye press conference him so ni bibia aka because esia no ne nsagu na chi ya chechire na no but OSP no enam say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama aka say obekwatia krata hye ne proye ompese bitwuma sabia bekoso wona ban mu ana bekoso o my Ghana mu na ye Ghana fo so ma ye hwehwe no ye taxpayers money ye sika rowa ye tua ye hu fa so bia no ebetumi yaje na mo awie de kwese ya twe PNT His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say OSP me de wo pam ma wo ye adwuma no adwuma na oban Ghana hwehwe ne ye adwuma OSP say me da sin His Excellency John Dramani Mahama why ye crado say wo ba be kwatia krata hye ne proye no OSP de abetum we ye kesepa bambala pa and then Mr. Kasiebo onona oye OSP penny or down me call OSP amateur Office of the Special Prosecutor and then onona jinkonya ye press conference na press conference no do two dwano or the atu said ye former finance minister ye friend of Mr. Ken Oforiata His Excellency Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo wo fase papa onu ankasa abro mo abemu onu ankasa omo MPs majority then sorry say yempe no ye finance minister me koso ye sikasem Ghana ka ye boni me koso ina no ye Ken Oforiato na say Ken to adrim nada Ken to adrim nada Ken to adrim nada sana Ken Oforiata adia onu wankasa ne MPs ne kanina ye no kre ye say se bomo chiche finso ase be kacho so denche mewa ye ngina chinye sana tie na me ka say former finance minister friend Ken Oforiata yenya ne ntie so ni Ghana o akwantuom na akwantuom no ya to nsa afro papa bro mba we make say OSP dia betu dwa say Ken Oforiata so hu ne say onam Madina hu ne say onam eye fabode betu me trek fanche ne ko hu ne nsa wo ma ka che ne say Ghana ban hia no say yembo no abongo so ebobo na abongo so o ma to nsa afre na nti baby edri de oye wanted baby a Ken Oforiata wo a wo hwe yen wutie ye bia ne ehia ko wa besom man eniema bi koso yenti ase e behia se obeba to de atudwa se owura Ken Oforiata baby owo bia no so te yenka sa bongo na ebetumi ache na ba na ebisa ne nsema cause the money share ne se so onhwe ye sika sem so onu anka so wa bem na onu anu nkofo ka se Ken eniema nkwayi nti asema eye lawyer Kasiebo ndi atudwa no o se Ken Oforiata ye wanted asem na nka se Kasiebo ano mama yen konkohwe kasamfonyin abra oni media ni share your press conference.
A few minutes ago, I signed a directive declaring a high-profile person a fugitive from justice. This person is wanted by the OSP to answer charges in respect of several cases, including the following. 1. Contractual arrangements between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated objective of the enhancement of revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. 2. Termination of a distribution, loss reduction, and associated network improvement project contract between the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited and Beijing Xiaocheng Technology BXC. 3. Procurement of contractors and materials and activities and payments in respect of the National Cathedral project. 4. Activities and payments in respect of a contract awarded by the Ministry of Health, initially commenced by the Ministry for Special Development Initiatives to Service Ghana Auto Group Limited for purchases and after-sales service and maintenance of 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 305 CDI ambulances for the National Ambulance Service. And 5, payments out of and utilization of the tax refund account of Ghana Revenue Authority. The fugitive's name is Kenneth Nanaya Oforiata. Mr. Oforiata is 66 years old. He was the Minister of Finance of the Republic between 2017 and 2024. Mr. Oforiata left the jurisdiction on or around 2 January 2025. On 24 January 2025, the OSP communicated to Mr. Oforiatta that the OSP considered him a suspect in respect of 4 of the cases described above. Mr. Oforiatta was directed to attend in person the OSP on Monday, 10 February 2025 at 10 GMT for interview. By communication dated 31 January 2025, Mr. Oforiatta instructed his lawyers to inform the OSP that he was out of the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds, and that the firm will notify the OSP of his arrival in the country in aid of rescheduling his personal attendance at the OSP. Further, the firm offered its willingness to provide the OSP with any information the OSP may require to aid in the investigation until his arrival in the country. Then on 5 February 2025, the OSP responded to Mr. Oforiatta, copied to his lawyers, that the OSP did not need or require notification from his lawyers of his arrival in the jurisdiction. The OSP acknowledged Mr. Oforiatta's lawyer's gracious offer to provide the OSP with information in aid of the investigation. However, and this is important, the OSP insisted that Mr. Oforiatta's personal attendance at the OSP was required. After all, the lawyers are not under investigation. I don't need lawyers to answer questions on your behalf when you are being investigated. The OSP declined Mr. Oforiatta's request to be away from the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds on his say-so. Consequently, the OSP directed Mr. Oforiatta to indicate by close of business on Monday, 10 February 2025, a reasonable date of his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP. The OSP warned Mr. Oforiatta that if he failed so to do, the OSP would take all necessary legal steps to secure his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP at our own choosing. Subsequently, by a communication dated 10 February 2025, that is just Monday, Mr. Oforiatta's lawyers transmitted to the OSP a generic letter procured by Mr. Oforiatta purporting to be from a doctor in a foreign jurisdiction, stating that Mr. Oforiatta had been seen and evaluated, and that he was undergoing further testing and management and possible surgical intervention at an indicated future time. And further, that his medical condition necessitates that he will stay and follow up on his appointments. On account of this purported medical letter, Mr. Oforiatta's lawyers prayed that the attendance in person of Mr. Oforiatta at the OSP should be fixed, taking into account the medical report from his doctors. And at 4:16 p.m. the very next day, that is yesterday, Tuesday, 11 February 2025, before we could respond to the letter that came on Monday, the OSP received another letter from Mr. Oforiatta's lawyers. This time, it was an inquiry. Mr. Oforiatta's lawyers wanted to know, and they stated that they were informed by the household of Mr. Oforiatta that in the morning of Tuesday, 11 February 2025, that is yesterday, 12 men, comprising 1 police officer, 4 military men, and 7 other men in plain clothing, visited Mr. Oforiatta's house, and that by threat of force, they were able to enter Mr. Oforiatta's house, and they undertook an exercise purporting to be a search of every room, office, gym, and other spaces in the house. Mr. Oforiatta's lawyers then inquired if the OSP could confirm that the actions of the 12 men were the instance of the OSP, so as to enable them to decide if a complaint to the police would be unnecessary. Mr. Oforiatta's lawyers then prayed for a prompt response from the OSP to prevent imposter action. We are now responding promptly, and we have chosen the course of answering Mr. Oforiatta's inquiry publicly at this briefing, considering the circumstances surrounding the purported raid at Mr. Oforiatta's house, media reportage of the purported raid, and in light of the reckoning that some media houses have stated emphatically that the OSP was behind the purported raid, and in light of the reckoning that the purported raid is being made to appear as if it was some untoward action by the OSP stemming from some contrived vendetta held by the OSP against Mr. Ofori-Atta. So, here we go. And this is our response to Mr. Ofori-Atta directly, but through you, the media. Mr. Ofori-Atta, the OSP did not raid your house on Tuesday, 11 February 2025, or on any other day. Mr. Ofori-Atta, the OSP did not cause any persons, however uniformed or bedecked, to raid your house on Tuesday, 11 February 2025, or on any other day. Mr. Ofori-Atta, that could not have been the OSP, and that is not our style. If the OSP enters your premises, you will not be in doubt as to whether it was the OSP that had come there, and your lawyers will not have cause to do an inquiry ascertaining whether it was the OSP. We have our unique methods of conducting searches, and we have uniquely designed insignia identifying ourselves, and not just by a statement that we are from the OSP. This is one such main insignia. A person cannot just show up and say they are from the OSP. It's cheap, anyone can say that. But when the OSP enters your premises, you will definitely know by our insignia, our methods, and the way we identify ourselves that this.
See, a lawyer Kasiebo OSP, Office of the Special Prosecutor, Kwanchef wana penyo dano na yete nenka ode ensemno atudwano. O say Ken Ofori-Atta lawyers asore jinem asem be edru no mo nsem bi kwa ye friend court no ba wa na lawyers na kasa na muntina television bi so munjina ba bi nkasa kasa say afi na OSP no peso ye say ne meka ho o trese omo andro omo ko Ken Ofori-Atta omo kaka say OSP office omo kopiem Ken Ofori omo nim ho hwe because omo duru ho also omo tumi kire ma identify omo say no cre if OSP office enti ebi so ano ne bi mo problem bi na omo ko ho de fine enti de atere no Ghana fo Sanse mi ye nyina ye kebi enye ye nko a eye the NPP MPs na ka Ken Ofori-Atta mo man ya boko ekwan ya wafa so ye maniema ekwan ya ogege eye insure SIC na mo insure state niema nyina no waje di amane enterprise insurance ene maka ho ono be aka say Ken Ofori-Atta ye mpena sem Ken Ofori-Atta ye mpena sem Ken Ofori-Atta ye mpena sem wo kaso so no wafa so time 2016 dre 10 wo MPP no this ka bai nti yi Ken Ofori-Atta untouchable eno kra time papa no mugu no so ka so Ken aka 3 months ti pe baby te no sugu ne yem Ghana fo nchema hu mahu dwumadi aka Ken Ofori-Atta adi Ken Ofori-Atta wo so ho son a yesi baby a wo bia ne bra nti se wo Ken Ofori-Atta wo takrade wo Ken Ofori-Atta wo boko wo Ken Ofori-Atta wo sunyan wo Ken Ofori-Atta wo goso wo Ken Ofori-Atta wo su ha ye hiano omaton sa friend se Ken bro na ye no ndi nkomo ye mbisa wo nsem ba ko mienu miense bi a ekire ya dwenso nso owura Ken Ofori-Atta nye na dwenso obeba nti owura Ken Ofori-Atta a former finance minister me no ka say wa wo hwemi utie mi oye wanted o mine hiano eniama bebre na afa no ho a ebehia so obeba na yebisa no ho nsem cases kabo mbefo nyina Ken Ofori-Atta ho bom anti Ken Ofori-Atta yesrewa say no doctors ni bedi na chi aba so se no ho na dodo na doctors ni ndi na chi mbra because baby edu no ehia yie His Excellency John Dramani Mahama o say OSP ye wadwuma na mo hwe kwan OSP no kasa say no ho atom ana mu OSP o kasa say first o kasa say nipa bi de second dinachi na papa na but o kasa no kasa freely o say no ho tom His Excellency John Dramani Mahama nyame show fa hodi na o kan sa wajama Ghana biem na en kre OSP o lawyer Kasiebo aben kwan o kasa waton bo asi chechensem first papa kasa Christ e de second dinachi hwe wachechensem matwasum Ghana foi MPP abanya na nado danko akufo ado ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia dano ebedi yeso bosom eye nwotwe no 8 years no omudie bone friends and family ni binu no na nado wo fa se oye finance minister o se men kwada madane tetebo tan mo hu nsema ebobo fa no ho omra mbeyi na no nsema ya kan so onye omra no mbeyi na no na yehu say na ti enti de ete no na former director de ma School of Law ana Ghana School of Law a ye friend no Mr. Kwaku Ansa Asare aha ono so ajump hey o se OSP no ensema okaka ni nyina no o so mu gi OSP fi o mahu enti Ghana ne ye pen kura bi a bi hu so mpese no kura bi ba eye Mr. Kwaku Ansa Asare o lawyer o se OSP no also mu yi ne kra because OSP no opeso use the position no na odi hampanifo bi ni ade but asemo OSP ke no kre OSP embarrass obi ana ke no for apa ye won pese ke se o ye embarrass bra be yi wano onya de otata government official bia enti asema Mr. Kwaku Ansa Asare kan ye lawyer o kan ye woni ne ya adwen ana me nam te heka muma yenkwohwe muma yentie asem o kai no efinenum na yehu Ghana fonsa na bi mu ho a mumpe ma na yi muma yentie mba.
How many times didn't Ghanaians talk about the cathedral and the financial losses? How many times? Where was the special prosecutor? Didn't he have his ears, put to the ground? When people were screaming in the National Cathedral, where was he? When people, the newspaper, the media talked about the $58 million or something, where was he? Where was he? This one is just, one of the theatrical, shows that, the another political party is trying to do against, its opponents. We shouldn't encourage that kind of nonsense. It's incompetent. He can be removed on grounds of dereliction of duty. I'm not going to waste my time on ticket grounds in the OSB law. We all know what has happened. Former ministers stole millions of dollars. He did nothing. I didn't use the Yoko or the NID or the CID, or Interpol, to invite him, and the man declined the invitation. What exactly has the former finance minister done to warrant this disgraceful action on the part of the social prosecutor? Can the social prosecutor tell the nation what he has done up to now? He himself must be sacked. The special prosecutor should be relieved of his position. The special prosecutor must be relieved of his position. His bosom friend is Godfrey Dami, the Attorney General. Ask him what the Attorney General has done in the period. We have Galamsey issues. What has the special prosecutor done? What has he done? We have foreigners, who are, tearing the country apart financially. What has he done? So he should make sure that he is not used by the current government, to embarrass the ministers, or the former government. This kind of theatrical show should be nipped in the bud.
Enti de etene no o my Ghana ye kasa ye wompanifo bi o mo ye manboyfo a ensem akoso yi a lawyer Kasiebo Jaben OSP di atodwe me ya ese bibi sa no mani panim be yi na no but wa enche ye kam bread a ya papa Kwaku Ansa Asare o lawyer ni mapa on a former director de Ghana School of Law enche also wunya abotre jumping to conclusion wa wo kire wadwen na Ghana fo ye ni ha na His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo beka kire me na wo say o hye nyame bo abro person obedi president wo Ghana 2017 enti obesi asori dan di amanyankopon wa na nyame ntem asem enti wo hye nyame bo a enye mani na ya sede me kra me kobo afore wo Pentecost ye diska ko misika wom o say me ji misika because eno ye hwe sesia no say me ni dag out to say well say swimming pool na wo ho wo ye nim heyai baby ana His Excellency John Dramani Mahama mo share dasisi dan edema ye judge judicial service ye judges in penning for sent or muntinum. But the entire was assassin and tam do wechiro, Caswa Quemo mountains nebeko cosia. Ye was assassin and tam guame yamuni ade, ne ye siwo ho, na ya macrono satre. Ye sheda a danya ne ye siama judicial service, ye judges in the bear 5 years in an edu, a full fracasia kisio mutim. Na do so ma shenya me bonte hwa na mesi eye national cathedral ye kotu mpanifoi ye no mo kogu hotel mo man sambo ka ebubu o mo dan even eye private firms private dan kra na individuals dan mo besi in the compensation kra me no ka se o mo sankan o ma de na affect you o mo compensation kra o mo sankan enso ye tutu wa ye nsi hwe nothing to show say cathedral no mo si na ya boka be $52 million we are Ghana near ma wore anho na hu se na do danko akufo ado e kwanya oni na busua oni na appointees oni omo mo twa no ho hia e bubu maya seman e ha adwene na do etumi askam yankopon na me no wo de e hwan was coming otwedi ampo yankopon $52 million no dollars sikanche betumi e de aye niema bebre e school dan akwan light are light insu ansuo ya to says kani negu wudru ho a National Cathedral no sebi foundation cry and toy ya rehosem na what jump into conclusion me di Mr. Kweku ansasare ho yawo lawyer ni mapa man I'm running nyedwuma wo geka Ghana School of Law ono ni peni a wada no pada muna wo che school for law na wa jump into hey say OSP ne tunani asinkofo so na say but asema OSP ken kisi jaben ken bone mon kan chemi wa wo hwemi wa wo tie mi aso wa fom National Cathedral nothing to show me na wo ye hu bibia wo ho samu onfoni ni bia nche mo de to so mankofo hwe what jump into conclusion asofu na kra no form say board no ko mu say ya enim gwase bibia no no ma sha say resign no mo twom ho ye ni ha na ICGC sofu pon o ka se asofu pon bebre na no mo twom ho fi mu because ya rehosem egu enim gwase na wo defend say wo sheda na wetu na ni esi omo OSP no kra no oka ya ma no kwan sansemi na no pese oka enso omo share no so man mo ko mo bon omo media fo ni bi pa de bia no mo gu no so kisi ajabe yo no omo gu na ni ma say excellency John Dramani Mahama say me second coming way me buy say Ghana fo ye be me bibia Africa do chi transparency ye ni tuem because me ne wo man ye de ye ka ban a me no na ye na mani pa ba ko mfes kan di one ne nko fo nkohye baabi asofo ina ka ho asofo mo preach with them say me secretary ka ba na di staff for account no de aye ha ni na ekoso wasadi mti waka but me ka che me papa eye kwaku asare ansa lawyer ni mapa say kwan ya wafa so daddy wakasa no wankasa ye wankasa asemi bai wunya abuche me ye hu me ekodo ye wi asemi kura na wasase e kasa penifo ni bi no nti ye de man na kwa anim na bi so twa ba echi de tene no ba wo expinsem na ye guso a ye ka ho asem oye lawyer kusie jaben a kire say onye ni emi ne se bi wa on hanti phobia na o ka se osimesi me ha no osimesi me tete no osimesi me gu na nimase osimesi say na me de be ye no muntie ni yo sa na tie oso no ni emi ne se edwuma na ne office no ye ka Office of the Special Prosecutor aso ye tie say ye de be kwetia krata hye ne proye corruption na His Excellency na do danko akufu ado ka say me de ba on say na the office na ba kekiu but no nyimu gidie because of the be martin mo do ne ken oforata ya na omo akofa kisi jabe so ba say e ma kwan ma wonye wi I krata hye ne proye na meaning say munye ready some beko His Excellency say a good idea OSP office ye be ma mo kwan mo mato so aye adwuma say si ade ma ba me ma kwan mo akasa se ma ba mu o se hwan ya ba mu ka for Ghana fo tumi ni kitaye yen na e mo tumi mo be di president e be ye minister se me ka ho nti ono no ntan obi a na ni so obi a but mo person enso stop corruption krata hye ne proye mo ma yen san koketie e lawyer Kisie Jaben ono no ye OSP Special Prosecutor yenti ne some of the two forms of
investigation. One, investigation to prevent corruption. Those do not necessarily end up in prosecution. You are doing the investigation so as to plug loopholes, and a lot of the investigations we announce are in the nature of that. Look at when we started the government payroll administration investigation. That was in 23, right? Late 23. Beginning 2025, we are now ready with our first suspects. You get it? Now you say we have not secured any conviction. Well, I wish we would have secured some, but it is not. It is not just an easy statement like that. You recall, there was one case. When was it? I think it was 28th. There was supposed to be a judgment. We concluded the case. It was supposed to be in Kumasi, only for us to go and to be told the judge had been transferred. What were we supposed to do? We are not the judges. We cannot read the judgment. What the OSP has to do, we have done. As video evidence of the person demanding back his bribe money after a public election went all right twice for him, and all that. We are in Tamale on the Northern Development Agency case. We closed our case. There was a submission of no case to answer, which went in our favor. The accused persons have opened their defense. We're on it. There's this perpetual one in Accra, respect of the former CEO of the Public Procurement Authority. We are alive to our duties. As I'm saying, these things take time. It takes time. And patience. The results will be seen. What is our ultimate aim? Ultimate aim is not to see Kweku Mensah in jail or Kwabena Mpuma locked up. Our ultimate aim is that, as far as my tenure is concerned, when it ends and I leave, the conversation on corruption would have shifted, and like a paradigm would have shifted, so that it will not just be business as usual. For people to know that when they engage in these acts, there's a price to pay, and a very hefty price to pay. For us here at the OSP, that message and that prevention drive is much more important than getting one person to jail. If you get one person to jail successfully, that's fine. There are a million Kweku Mensahs who are still engaged in the conduct which you have not been able to get to jail. But they are all freely engaging in such conduct, and the society is the worse for it. That is not so helpful a utilitarian model than to shift the conversation of corruption for us to stamp it down, suppress and repress it, and forge ourselves a better society. That is our ultimate aim, at least as far as I remain the special prosecutor.
Enti lawyer Kasiebo, special prosecutor. Nensa me hwe ha wato ne bo ase. Enti na menim say lawyer Kasiebo metumi akasa sei. Ye tata no. Nti papa no kasa kra na waye din na omo bondwom. O te so ohuru monye. Ye ma no kwan. Ye tsena na nije so. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama man from Apasha. How wato ne bo ase chechirem. Sana ensam shishem pass wati. And some shisham pass it. Also, don't ye not dream. On ye not drink. Sesabiwa. Or the better at obi. On ye not drink so betches you be. On your not drink say. Obego be any massy. Office in a by so be quite your crata. Shishane proye. Corruption. On my ye brain now. Corruption. Oh, corruption. And a Ghana for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. A bar wabano. So to edidi esika bi kure kwesiesie amayen na wanya hwe Ghana for say yakoma be den e beto yem OSP afi na yehu se we OSP ampa afi na yenim se yehu se we lawyer wonim de because obia na wo lecture bi akas lawyer Kasiebo aben onimade obetumi aye adwuma nso ya ma no kwan we dey say na na do OSP office na nkasa no wo mo kai ya papa Martina Medu ono so sa mother serpent of corruption oka che na na do ene ne Keno Foriata mother serpent of corruption mo kai omo ye ya de atete do koye ajabe so ba ye ma okwan mo nkasa nyame adom say si am from e fa ajabe ho ni freedom wonya from e fa no ho kan kra na che me ne wo nti o say krata hye ne proye no office ne stand for inti afi no bebi asike bi akwhye no bebi abibi akwhye no e ya de o mesore akon etia nti de de no enya de a nani son bi a onka so obegu obi ani mase wundi ska wo how ne sen wonko face ka wo how ne sen nti de tene no special prosecutor nensema ode atudwa no na ba ku so edim ye special prosecutor ode foforo so abobom foforo de abobom ye NPA ye ka NPA National Petroleum Authority na National Petroleum Authority no kire say 1.3 billion Ghana funtie ni you 1.3 billion Ghana cedis bi ono so ye hu bebi asika na akofa na ye ka immediate past see Wodema National Petroleum Authority Honorable Mustafa Hamid Mustafa Abdul Hamid na sema ode abetu dwane se ho so sasike akofa bebi a ye hu bebi asika no wo na Honorable Mustafa Hamid sika no obi bebi sese e die sika no ye Unified Petroleum Price Fund ye wo ena kanu UPPF Unified Petroleum Price Fund eno ni sika e cheda ho say ye di ye edwuma no eniema bi workers ma say ye di tibi ma aban no na ye di ye edwuma eni NP yankasa no akode nipa ba ko bi botom hey etina nado woni wa appointees di wo chronics mom de be ye ma no saa sika na koda nipa ba ko botom me ba to mon tie ni yo eye 1.3 billion eye new Ghana cedis enye old cedis 1.3 billion eye new Ghana cedis inti million na de million no pepe it say me kon pepe na me reda na ekodi nipa ba ko botom mokai honorable eye Mustafa Abdul Hamid sasa mi so OSP dia tudwa osisika na ya betwe abadodo OSP mamembo nsemo we good yambo mpa sesike betumi abo na ya twini na aba emom moma enkohwe asem so OSP kafa eye NPA eye sasike ho.
The OSP has also commenced investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of an alleged embezzlement of 1.3 billion cedis from the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund (UPPF) at the National Petroleum Authority (NPA). The investigation primarily targets the following persons: the coordinator of the UPPF, Mr. Jacob Amwa, NPA staff Frida Tando, NPA staff Wendy Ashon Newman, and the former chief executive of NPA, Mr.
Eda hono yankasa 1.3 billion cedis eda hono where new cedis so enye old cedis so 1.3 billion Ghana cedis ya kwan yensu sem ye light eniema squad dan we ye betumi de sisi mama papa wutie me mama a wo hwe me ntina na do ne na ban umbedi ewudie chamatima ekoso national service ha adwene ghost names pa 83,000 was 81,000 abi go so we nyina yesika no so ye hu bebi afa ekodi nipa ba ku botom enti eye former CEO eye Mustafa Abdul Hamid 1.3 billion Ghana cedis NPA musika eye UFFP sikani na na wahin monfambre na ye hwe bebi asika na afa na ye nkoti eno na ode atudwa but Mustafa Hamid say ye no kwotena MP onyo no mo ye zongo ye omo no kwotena ye no kwotena MP na sika we etumi fa won sase a arehosem ne say Mustafa Hamid 2016 mokai oye press conference soon and I say you save mine or say you jemine no mama no kwe ha adwene yaw no osu no ye okakansem not knowing say onya mountain top on foye onya hand in tafre enti or come here there or say come the nipa na semonku onya bi su di so na semonku mama yen kaka ye ho ye san kofa na ya kaka Mustafa Hamid say sana Mustafa be ina 1.3 billion Ghana cedis new cedis ebetumi ayira wa MP mama yen kohwe sa nsem numra.
Sir, it's terribly sad. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved. I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallah, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Hey! Sheikh Mustafa Abdul Hamid. Obviously, don't cry. Mesu. We need to rescue this country. Sana swini na mopocho bebre e wonso nenum. No nya baby njinaye. And the Mustafa Hamid 1.3 billion wusu wensu yebeje. Ghana hieska. Ye hieska. Na IMF 3 billion. Ono krom chichem trenches the man kakra sope. Abra 1.3 billion mam wo tie me a. Ye education ye betumi de aboa ibi. Eye free SHS ye ka ho asemi feeding ye de bi beboa. Sa so na school adan. Hwe na nse video be piem a nyame His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Eastern region heyo. We nye Northern region baby Eastern region. Idua na ebu ato eye stream mu. Mankwala na faso. No muto mu krai. When you na nye skem bi entumi mfa. Se wodin bridge krai betumi abobo asi so. 1.3 billion. Mustafa Hamid, Upo na we CEO, former CEO ma NPA, National Petroleum Authority. Sikani yebeji. Every all there to the Facebook word say Obia inviting, no more inviting obeba. Until Sikani baby a sheno. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ghana for yaka. Says what to me did you say Sikani na ma ya cry. Now the 1 year project be a yeni more dada. Why ye be dada? Why ye yenim rosa, why ye yenim e block a row a wusisi, yenim hospitals, yenim nearma wo ye cheap compounds, dear. So why ye be that? And ya feel a wo baby, what to me may ye check to me cassassi, nay the bo or man home bra. His Excellency, dear Bume, into what the Prince Asican my Sassican, Premaing, say Wagano. Say what Barbados so, say what Caribbean so, baby Asican will be your saber. We need to rescue this country. Now so men don't cry, no so. Sana nina ni one tafre. Ghana for me. Musa is a video ni mamna. Mustafa Hamid, former CEO de ma NPA. Na se muma yenhwe kasa ni bi misremo.
This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved. I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallah, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Eti ediatene no Feligadochi. I say si ade wie o say friend obeba. Enti honorable Mr. Hamid. Ono so nensema ode atu edwa no. Na Mika say the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology, Innovations, we instructed the acting director and as a general director of the NC. I say omonhwe na office no list bia wo hwe television so a letter no na de atoso no frequencies ahoro omode ma issue na omutumi renew frequencies edi omo last 2 months ebetwa me 60 days no omo printing omo mfento no omo hwe because niema bi akokọ so ebehia so omahwehwem until letter na eda so no Honorable Minister of Communication, Digital Technology Innovations or the atudwa Sakatre the Director General so omonhwe na me pacho all frequencies are authorized issue we the man call for esanso omo renew no 60 days etwa mukoi omo hwe no munye we nti on frequency authorization audits on ne bi na no so ode atoso nti asema no so aba no wo hwe screen no so ene na etwa gu no nti me gidi so mbe ye adwuma pa wo so renew 60 days na be 2 months ni no na no so bibia ni ana ye ne aka nti make say ono no list ni be wi a no wasan e de akoma lawyer penny on mine lawyer penny attorney general no so watumi ahwe ma embrase no yaka ho asem nti de ete no mepie me no nti no wo wi amonfa ma ono so make us say odiama lawyer penny on behwe contract ahoro a no so akoso wo ho no ekwan o musa mess Kenny GVG so ekwan no so no modi atoso no we request for legal opinion anti ope embraning chim wo sa kwan o mo fa so former minister no Eslowusu o mo sign contract okay Kenny GVG Mas Lebara Ghana Limited and Smart Infraco Ghana Limited kwanya almost sign ya contract ahro ye momwe omo na ehwe ye fraud nsem eno na omo hwe no ye momwe sika omo te ye kekekeke 11 na no kofu na omo hwe sa contract no ye ne omo beka ho ase won hwe se ye mbra kwan so ede ye de nete contract na nkwe ya ye ntwam nti eno no request for illegal opinion and won sem na ono so ode atodwa no nti ebeda se papa na be twa to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ordinary achim with the Dutchland you can Dutchland Germany or Germany on German security couldn't come and to make us say the His Excellency ma akwentu aba ordinary achim or Germany me pacho titiwa wo hwe television TV XYZ no obo His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on nante kama boko oko akofa plane on the chief of staff pepebi honorable Julius Debra chief onana ma chief kujano na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to me akofa a plane Republic of Ghana da ho presidential jet no de nani atremu Germany mo kwa ye no ebabua me ne we na fa ne security sem ye bambo how anyama betumi atoto yi na ye ne Germany anyankofa no okọ titan no was Germany na adam fofo pa okọ titan no mboa bibia no yetumi anya imperial ministers of state ne so na ejina hwa ye hu Dr. Manebo ama ye hu honorable Muntakamo anti chief of staff honorable Julius Debra pepebi obatampa ne nufo doso ama biso ye so ye papa no ono na we koja His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ma for plenty says he had make us say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama de nani trem wo Germany wo hwa television so ono na ye koja no nti yi okọ Germany ni mene we na ye die ye nkoso ye bambo nti na ye papa no edi nani atwe the Dutchland meka Germany na okọ kodidume so bia mfaso de betumi aba na aboa mene we na nti de tene no baby edri de on say inside politics de bia mka say ye show no obi obeba so bia credible obi obeba so bia animate obi obeba so bia no na mo be kan fa ho no wakwadarem na wakwadarem de anya say yesi te we kra do se me ana me ji asem ne kan che anya se me ma doctor kasa enye obi as a power specialist herbal hospital edru no mutumi boni de na nkofo se ken wo koton ana enso mo amu ye die nti wi ana mafrem na ma cha ma mu fiafo wo de age desmond no wa no so se bi wo oye krife ba kun so se ken man bi na mama enye bibia se edru yo ye friend jirika jiri friend yi jirika jiri me manum bi enti me ka wasema na me ni meka we am dash Mr. Kelvin Asante bi jirika jiri we twin mu I so nte enso ate atra Dr. Demamia ono no beje ne first jirika jiri Francis de onson enti wo ye bema na opese ogina pintin a for vitality jirika jiri enti ndro no wa ha doctor abekasa na baby ba kwa yare friend hepatitis B wo de chie ya omso eni anu adro hepatitis B me pa chobebre wo pese ye treating yi na ebo wa ye wo ABCD ni na no ko mebo enkra ha de anya yira kwan eye ACP aha kwasi CP ho ya okwa obi hu yare ahoro no mo tonic bi me pa cho so ate wo fi se wa fon no ma hihyew omo malaria duro ene meka ho doctor akosi edu ya na me hira ofe na ma feel and so Dr. Hineba Dr. Hineba kwaba biaboko there forever young
that's
me did say power specialist about hospital biaboko there ye ni mamotinti
yes
emriwe Ghana for kasachiro
me da say abusia yamo akwaba power time bre aso power specialist heba hospital yade enchefri aso Dr. Pania Oda hospital and doctor akosia adu aya hodemo bibia ojebre na ohwe power time da bia yens make nyina ne say said yankrofo edi ho adanse TV so radio so internet ene emya hodo no won so be ka adanse difo no bi power specialist ever hospital do not find last stop yewo Kumasi won cry ena yewo Takoradi Kumasi wo fiyase ye ni Jasbo Free Station di enhwanimu wo aputoja contrast kwan so Lake Road ena yewo akra wo Kwabenya ACP kwanso ne block factory no edi enhwanimu na fi Takoradi wo Anaji Estate Customs Road ye ne single washing bay no so di enhwanimu numbers edi adwumana emiensa wo de famu bia wo fra branch na ebe no ne ama direction abaho na wabeje wayaresa numbers ni 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422 Monday to Saturdays any day ayedma wo ba ye nyabre woni padua no ye mfiti prakopema obi aduro obi abaye ho pa bia dia danse se ye ho wa anya lab a ye ma waduro oba lab papa bia awu hia se ma ye no baye ye di mfidi be hwehwe mu so hia se ma wo twa scan so hia se ma wo ye x-ray bibi biara se ma wo ye na ye hu ade potepa koso ni padua ni mo no ye baye sentre da bia ye ka se ye treat just symptom ye treat the cause of symptoms no ti ade ne kwa ensan ma biom nyame adom ye sa yade etu ase ye manage yade wo hospital ho no mo ye mbrebre yade ase oba nyankopa adom ayaresa ewo ho ba bia wo bia ene yade bia wo de anante ache ahye wo ho ache no wo de ba power specialist hospital on san fa nkofie de biara eda ba bia nyame adom ayaresa ewo ho se yade ahodo a ekoso na hankrofo be ka ne se eku binom na binom adwene emaso kidney stones and a kidney cyst. Yakasa adie bi cyst achasa adie na ahono na ensuo eginam. So akọ trust scan. So akọ hospital bi na say diagnosis say kidney stones and say kidney cyst or renal cyst. Mr. Bra Power Specialist Hospital. Emfa kidney asam eni agro. Bibi biara efa kidney ho no esese mani hiam. Sentence nkrofo ewu. Dialysis okoda so ho kanya asam ketwa. Emma enkodru sabre no ansan waka se unisika eba ne saa so dia wopompo wankwa obewu kidney ho asam de emesro Bra Power Specialist Hospital ama wonfe efom ha nyina ya wo ya ede kofie osisi achi lower back ho hwehyew ho no ya wo ya na wonase nyina taita umia na atom ya na wanim no nipadua nyina na ahonho no ukokata so ntumi enate ne yie so wonya kidney problem wa ne symptom ne bi say untumi nda wo ya de kakra bi na wabre emfa ho ne rest abe rest bre bia firi say wa ye weak usisi achitimi yo ina sisi ya de ankasa etimi ba oni padua no so misro kidney stones kidney cyst Fabra Power Specialist Hospital yakopa dom ye wadru abesa etu ase de amaw ya de bi te say fatty liver yesa obrebo no ayesra de ama wani nyina aye very yellow yeso anya jaundice wo jonso Johnson and say leptin and say coke ama wachi kasa no aya wo ya ama wo yafunu no ahono bo akra ba yes can be we no ascites just ensuo satan yafunu no mu na ne yafunu ayetan te sasabi oba pemfo no da bia meka say ansa na mo so yafunu ahono no de say Oliver na sini say yakwam no mesro wachi kasa mututu yafunu hono na hono right upper abdomen ho nufu ni fana se ha e de ko mfede ko pie wachi hono e ho ya wo ya e ho hyehyew e ho na so ayedendenden Fabra Power Specialist Hospital yenu ntina sam de doctor akoso duaya aye hyehye no de adrowe abaye fe no livo care aduaya livo care bibi piara fa liver no ho say fatty liver say liver enlargement say liver cirrhosis oba power specialist hospital anasa unya sadro ebia nyankopad bebe heal liver no amana sa aye papa aye kama aye mono na ye adwuma esesa ye yade ba ko awiase nyina ase ani aduro hepatitis B da bia me kan mani age say enmonyam ka nyankopod ni say power specialist hospital edini ya ba ko pe power specialist hospital any hospital ba ko pa ye wadansidie ya jawo do ahodro da bia me kasa nkrofo alternative radio so a omuso mo hepatitis B aduro na so bia ntim abonten da was single evidence wo wadansidie ba ko pe obetim de nsa atene obi so akase enipa we na o hepatitis B o motu ase just a power specialist hospital o me do mobile TV so any radio so be dia dan sere edoso awodo ahodro ayaje Ghana ani amonone no eye bebre so what test hepatitis B positive say you kunu say you yere say you ba say you nua bi say you dihye bi atase hepatitis B positive fa mesro amane hyedem na onwu mentna fie na ensu amayade na enku bra power specialist hospital Kumasi and crime anasa eyeta krade number sini 0555 797878 0200 3831 and 0244 544422 what dia no eye osa ya dia ba ko betimi atete nkwana nyina ekomede wa yam yoya aduane to yam yam yoya wudidi mi yam yoya obu so kra wacha wana wa bia obedidi betimi adidi besa 12 times ansa na ade ache anadwu besa 2 na opaduane adi osa ya de bone bel sabetu ma wafon ayetantantan ya na obo no nyina yo ya de kopie wachi wutanya heartburns okukutimi hihyu say ya na osare nyina titiriti wudi dia na aduane ejejabo indigestion ya na se emframa bi ejina woyam osa eno no mesro tutumrika bra power specialist hospital yamma wadro entuase ema so so huntimi nto osa betu ma wachi kasemu aya wo ya osa betu ma ochese ha aya wo ya abusua anyasam ketwa obi owo osa pa na betimi adi asema mikan eho adanse entratena ho tutumrika bra power specialist hospital Kumasi and crime anasa eyeta krade bema bia wo dwonso mu problem tie ni yie wotena ho di agro ya de catheter be sha obema mu ya de rubber be sha obema mu bema kakra bi na dwonso de wokọ aketua bi na aba obi chimansa na dwonso na eba no aba dwonso na eba ne bema mu ya ne ya ne bema mu hyehye no obi dwonso wi ono ankasa tenkasa dwonso no ebi akam wo dwonso wi ne moja edi akiri obi okra dwonso na eba ni nyina eye moja mesra bema bia na eba ye prostate ebetimi ya bladder that is cystitis ebetimi ya ureter na so urethra bia na your kidney and as your untreated infections so ba power specialist hospital ye be yan hwehwemu ahwede wo de no de surgeon so problem no de aba pin so sa problem no ojonso na se hyehye no na se eye ne ya o chima ansa na Johnson aba obo akra so se ansa na bata sa Johnson de no na te say agunu hu nyina wie mesro entratena ho bra power specialist hospital Kumasi and crime anasa eyeta krade ba bia obia nyamiadom ayaresa ewo honom ede emau typhoid yade ba ko ase sei hankrofo pa typhoid ni nya no aye easy so de be san obi so aye easy ana ba bia obetimi anya typhoid say ya sore dem say ya kamu say ya dwumam say ya hifa ba biara wo bia obetimi anya typhoid obi tuti typhoid say malaria say signs and symptoms no maka say ya de kro ya na uti ya wonum yo onwuno na ho ayehye na oposo nyina aya omre typhoid with the same symptom malaria with the same symptom enti obo ma wa hospital ya ye ne malaria test or ya malaria no aye negative na so na symptoms ni no doctor na say o man malaria treatment mesrobia na ye typhoid so what treat bi a ususu say malaria kona aba wo sori na pass on ho odin efiri awiade kwa nwure na awo ate agu so wanum nyina ayo nwonwono kwa kata so wuntumi enna wo so tia na ete bra power specialist hospital yenya wo lab hwede ekoso say typhoid nyakopad maduro ho a yede mo betu ase ama nso so ho atimi atọ kakra bi na yemu atim ewo ho de be na wo yebasan ahwie typhoid no bra power ne yemu pampa bone wanum halitosis bad breath and mukankan yade a ancestor di agro enema de ba no edoso ne cause so no edoso bia na wo ye diabetic ba wonim ontumi ntritini yebɛtɛ de pampa bɔne aba wɔnum obi hɔ de na wɔ ne tim obi de ɛwɔ ne hwenem sinusitis obi de ɛwɔ ne se ɛnam no gam no mu ɛna ekuro no wɔ obi de ɛwɔ ne minimum tonsillitis bɛtumi de saa ha no abrɔw obi de ɛwɔ ne yam na ɛbɛba no soro ebia wɔ severe liver problem bɛtumi de saa ha no abrɔw ebia wɔ severe kidney problem bɛtumi de pampa bɔne aba wɔnum ne nyina no ba ɛbɛhwɛ deɛ de odiɛ ne ba ne ne ntaka nto ase ama ho ntimi ntɔ sciatica oto ase atwitwu sɛ ya obi ntimi nante emfiri ha nkwa ha wodi agro do bɛto dem flat sciatica oto ase twetwom ade fa osiremu fa onankokom fa onantina onana etitiri wodi agro obɛka dem bone fracture wodi dompani mo bu pain Fabra Power Specialist Cyber Hospital kompo ehya omunum goita ehya omunum wontimi motai wontimi nyu komu oba ye mfa sekan enka ho ye nya operation ye nya surgery ho no mo ye be mo odre be na ne nyina afiri ho ama ho atimi atɔ be ma bia wa ye mre wo mpam e ma no mpa gina gene oba power e be boa enema de ba no dɔso ye be hwɛ de de na aba enu ntini de giri ka giri me vitality ye de aba nkrofo di ho adanse wunya saa do be boa na se onya immune system booster eye Heberton Heba Mr. ni beka ho de a yes se ba bia wu ede amount sa adro we akwa pemampon Center for Scientific Research into Plant Medicine omo a recommend adro we say immune system booster papa eba boa niam wo sa enu no emu no ya de aboa ni padua no pa entu nya bia betimi abo ba bia ton ha badro bia no so wokwa ebi ewo ho ya de bia ha bia usisia de kese na abeso ya so ene ma de sisia de ne ba no doso untreated infection say ya gonorrhea say ya syphilis say ya chlamydia ya de bia sha ho acha edi sunsan so bone de abro awarefo amopa awo na awo emma munwa ni nyina mumna ne hwɛ de problem no ewo emma bebre anum nuro ma bebre atinisuo na so ba hwɛ mu na problem no afiri be ma no obeye seminar analysis no na spam ba kokora ni hu nsuo no mu Bra Power Specialist Hospital yen hwɛ de ekoso ne mwa amamo ni gentim nwe peye ba bia wo bia ya de bia ha bia Bra Power Specialist Herbal Hospital Kumase Encrine anase eyeta krade severe constipation ayade ema otimu nya ode media 2 days 3 days class be na men call toilet wudi dia no pa wudi dia wi wudi dia nwumre 2 3 4 days on call private ayade ni complications no eso Bra Power Specialist Hospital yan hwe de ekoso ni pedum ya mwa entu ade no asemfa mawo ya no ye dududu wa titiriti uni pedua ni nyina wa ye dududu wuti afama se ade be etaro na ase bra ne mwa wakuma bo se hwim wutime jonso saa wosotia na etwa ha kwa kata so wuntimi enna wudidi na aduane ejejabo wutime didi all right na so sotia na ete Fabra Power Specialist Hospital Kumase ofeyase yani Jasper Flint Station di enhwanimu wo aputoja kontra se kwan ne so Lake Road ana ye wo akra wo kwabenya ACP kwan sane block factory no edi enhwanimu na feta krade wo Anaje Estate Customs Road yene singa washing bay no di enhwanimu numbers no ayemiensa fa mu bia ne mfro na afeefra yene ne monkomo na ye mo ontu ade no ase emfa emma numbers ne 0555 79 78 78 0200 38 38 31 and 0244 54 44 22 Monday to Saturdays any day ayedwuma yedo se sebre bia ojebre na ohwe power time nyame ya adoma da sane sabre yanso yede apomde ho nsam no ebebro
ye beda Dr. Ohineba Papa Specialist Herbal Hospital power time no the brain the same time next week ye share Dr. Ohineba but mema no wonim se vaze twetua nyame ya adoma Friday Saturday de ye bedi Valentine's Day enti me pacho ji kaji ne de we alaji sorogo so waji o enti doctor next week wo ba for more bra na jiri odona ye di Valentine's Day enti me kura me alaji amadu sorogo dia ni obi andi chempe or second to none on studios kwa na waka ho asem deda enti jikaji obi empe bi maso ahwe na metumi aka cho say papa prekope woso sohwe na obi hu say papa prekope bebi edrima yenkwaji aboafo nkrato ngba ye ba ye wo Alhaji Amadu Sorogo former member of parliament de ma Madina ye betene nkasa so na ye nua Richard Maribe ono so ye member de national communication team NDC mamen konkwaji aboafo nkrato no ba ba ekuku da me betina fom na nsam egu bamba so ne de ho nkomo me ba sesia
Me see me nana aguru basa ebi bro tibedu himle no na ma bre ma ye.
As for me, I take very good care of my grandkids. Ye dear grow na yes sa eduru mre bi kra na me ba no timide omo be gumi so weekend no.
Hey, memre.
Hey, I don't think I'm catch you say. Ya no medi garlic capsules. Poso na ebesisi so kama. As I stand here, my doctor said my whole system has improved very well. Medi garlic capsules. Yes, Medi garlic capsules.
Oh,
Medimosis garlic capsules. Wa mamoja di nipadua mu efrusani yi na esiesie oba ne barima mahona wodin. Ubenya edroyi bi ato omanyi mu pharmacy store frɛ wo 050 349 4885. Edroyi enya mamofra enye ndi mfie dumienu. Apemfo ene emma emanofo. Medimosis wunni how FDA ajidwe di nkra to yi ato.
Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary. So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting. They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have yourself.
Mensaka power jackpots yazabo bi e chere wodo Mensaka Valentine's Day e chere ne do e rin in the bay change me the 14th February Valentine's Day so be here ye be chere ne do sama ye na do there chere wodo na Kasiebo side de me raza power jackpot modern yan de before mobile phone ne be dial *274 *10 hash change bi o *274 *10 hash enter draw na tickets Krubia 10 Ghana cedis. Enti the more erito tickets no. Na what chances of winning a susura no call. Na yi ne bezi ni boom gegege. First prize in here 10,000 Ghana cedis. Me raza. And then 10,000 Ghana cedis. Na 6,000 order na. Was spread in the bonus. Yours in ube shembi asu benya kakra ne how far. Eyi be ma vaze. Be fe wosina kada cash no confuse. Enti moda ya inde be shasi. Na begum damara bogum. Never begum so. Ebe dial *274 *10 hash. Now win in a big which will have one. Mensaka. Valentine's Day special easy. Ye busy dog. Na ya sena can cash account. Get no curfew. Mensaka. Kagum nezine big.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda former son ya funu mu emunumuni.
Oh Mr. Entry also ya reya titi me ben fie pi nanso ne yam nyono da se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa
Minyi ni se what also tamfo Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture ya no mbom kotia also no bia ma no anom anka ne ho ato no dadaada also dro de eno ani Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture
ankom ni nchiremu
also ye kura eto ye funu ene ensunu mu etumi a wo ye funu ekeka wa wo gire ho a enye also etumi e ma wo ye cheko ebra wadidi awie so how eye also de a compare Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture nanum bom na ho ebeto
pedudu eto a ko okanshi drug lane Kumasi Dani Herbal Takradi AA Mensa Anafre 02038228855 Apefo abatan ya woma won mofra no fo ene mofra woni mfie dumienu enka ho Hexa capsules ene ne mixture
all satan for edie age edwadie nkrato yi atom.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Okay, Miss Simon Wakwaba BM Deba TV XYZ to our Hemi Power 97.9 FM. Make out say stream live or a Power 979 FM and Sana TV XYZ Ghana. YouTube here XYZ broadcasted in and with me after media be na we huma echo. Baby a drink some go bamba so na yeba ebedi hon komo. Ye wo Alaji Amadu Sorogo. Father of the house, Ubefia, the XYZ broadcasting. Your papa, no, or your former member of parliament, the Madina constituency, or Sanya Madina father, or ha. And che, you hear him quite say, Yenuya, a Richard Maribi, or Subaba can answer, waha. Ma, your daddy Aquaba, Alaji Amadi Sorogo. Papa Aquaba.
I've come to you, say,
Yamiado, Afi Wabaha, this I politics.
Me, Maba. Maba wansi bi say me trans ya me amare me tri no chale Ghana problems obi ananka me tri na fita kurukura ni mu ene me hwe TV erade mu fa me boni nchemi ona sa
Alaji Amadu Sorogo Alaji bibi aboko Madina na bibi adedin
din pamono twa no was faha o hwebon we
mu kan fi wana pay banti we bi awo be bibi ohwa na me bi so say where di
Madina edi yenyina ya tedi.
Okay.
The only thing I want justice amanfo pe MC adwuma omo position no omo frame me na we ya frame na ma ma dwene say
wo hwese mo deserve ne fema
me mpese obi ba beka say ana metawe achi ana metawe achi.
Okay.
Na emom ne mpese me hunu ni say ye benya obi a sabi adwuma no ayaye yetu ho ache abo afode for all those years abeka no enkonko ye kwa.
Okay.
Yenya obi asabe na adwene mu abie enye se bia obi ka na se me ba ha ache ebi me ba ache ne yeka de ne nka me Sorogo say me a founding member of the NDC or me person aso but me yes chinchere
no betimi aye adwuma
no betimi aye adwuma obetia futuo sebe enko ba se aye se me papa de anti me papa wu a na je se me na me di ade da bi na minim se me yenhu ye ho no ye se obi se ya shortlisted the chairman of the region baba kan say names na about no a fake
yes which is awesome
nkran aye butu until see a between na ye benya actual numbers manaba ne hu se no ne kan say yenim say there's no way so mbe yes an man no misa ye no bi
yes
because ye penny ye party sabasa nyame nko me fi say okọ various districts ni municipalities no ne metropolitans na ye on crofo wa mo sha sia sabi o nim ho o ma dorim to me fi say consultation ni koso no ye betu ensa bisa ahemfo crofo ma chem opinion leaders say na be ya appoint obi a obeba na obeye a factor obeboa na the Ghana no a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama epesi ye nyina ye pe the Ghana we won for ourselves no obi anu a ope bone dia man wana me boa and if you want a good Ghana for yourself you must get good people to lead so that near your pen and sabeka nti Madina there for now no ye nyina yate we chro we na we ka we ne metu phone se me pa omo chew obi ase eyese kri na we see support we see support we se ko basa ne o support ne nsanka enu anadi mpaipai mu ani nchechemu edeba na me fisa Madina baby ya kodru no na me ka Madina so na nya Madina kwa the entire country because utie radio obi ka papa we no ye be ye ye do we ba be ye ya pamucho ye pamucho momma process na His Excellency dia to say process nya adwuma ye mani nya adwuma
okay
obi kan na me ba na yenso so way ye funding fathers ye dia starting from PNDC aboyo ye kan ye hwe ne eko because ye nim say His Excellency onim ade a eye onim wo mo a oyi wo mo a ombeboa no ma de Ghana na ye nyina pe no yetimi nsaka amma ne legacy obeja no aba be ye krabehwe entinye ye no ana be mana hu sabe ye adwuma che ye nyina ewom no obi anim obi a ti the only thing I be can say wo mo manya lucky a ya ma mo position no wo mo hu say anya say bi o mo nko a ene fata na emom position no ekoma nipa ba akopɛ na so mo tie nsɛm a His Excellency the President ne ka ade fa position na odi mo no ho a enye obi na be ka kire o say ya hwɛ yie because nkrofo no dɔɔso
no correct
nti sɛ wa anya hwɛ yie na odi be ya niam ho wo be se kuturu wo na o sini obi a e de position ama wa me pa twɔ anhwɛ a wa wudua ene ade ba kyekire wo kɔn ne yedo asen obi kɔn ho e fi sɛ manisa so far appointments are His Excellency ayeno what you say excellent aye nyina ye hweso baby o wana panyini youth no e dominate but enye say youth na ye youth bi o ho a na baby a wa fasu ko bi a wa fam no esene obi o ye panyini nti ye hwe so far so good yenim say appointments ni aka ne dooso bibre ambassadors wo ho CEOs no kura bibre wo wa ye nyanye ansana board members board 7 board member 9 board member ansana board chairman ankasa womo ene ye decision making and to say appoint to CEO now when the board comes now the board you have to take instructions from them
yes
no munyina matrase na moye na institution edo akoto ano no akoyie and so far ye nyina be praise His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for the wonderful worker we phrase awoye or the time to home na man for ka na papa wo position ti and we say obey way in 15 days 2 weeks obey way in 60 days obey way in 90 days ontimi nye so far what should I say eniema wo de toto wo so obey no oguso because we can send the cabinet within 14 days
obey
14 days the cabinet ni nyina dey are you ready and to the point to say what track cabinet no appoint and na ka just 4 process say no wanya ne full complement of 60 ni o ka say constitution review ka so obeye education review o ka so obeye niema wo de toto wo so obeye ni nyina ra wo bie mu a nti no so far ne be kan say so good
okay
o mu se nkrofo bi o mu da so tete institutions no mu a amwayen Forestry Commission I don't know whether they say ye na
for now I'm cementing
because seriously speaking wo mu series is in Riano niema mo ho mo ye na no ohye
timpenifo mfa CEO ntem
wo mu nya ni ntem na ye brasa niema no so
okay
obi abre akoload ni truck we bill bibia down who papers down waji bibia permit no obeduru wa no ma seize akosi ho 4 days 5 days o kwa 1 to 10,000 obe to 15,000 ni asa yi nua ni bi de on peso mo di adwuma mo ka mo se ye ne wa ha se maba no ba ye nya ne wa mo po mu mpo ye ne wa I feel say a din say ye koso a enkoso mo mo aban no
emwa okay
ebe koso ama yen nti ba bi sa no na ye twa ne show minim say president ne ne dia
muti on meye
muti ti apacho nya won ko a so muti ne foot soldiers ne
eka okay
I was saying nyina sorry na ye di adwuma e wo mu say so far so good na ma ana wo mu so asebe wo mu frefre me na wo mu kasa na de wo kwan ye odan me pa obi a chew
bi anya botre
aduma ne free esi ye ya che yan start say ye because of position ye say Ghana do say Ghana be ko nanim na in the process ye no na say ne odi anim no president who said that bida akwa we ye de bibi sha ne nsa obetimi asom no aboa me na baby me pesa me di Ghana kono waboa me ne di akọ president no yure mfiri obia woni mre obia de beba ti me pamo chaw ye nyinara ye mmom na ye nya adwumadini because sabe se wo hwe to na omotoma ye no a even though ye ni age no I was say ye yure sa ho ayro ni say wo mudi wo mu bibia hye ye mu say yen ene ebetimi abayi wo mafiri ebra omo munum enti say yantimi and deliver enti say ye di wo mu hwambo
ene kra
enti no so obedi ni kra nyina sha wo nsa de ni bibia sha wo nsa say wo ene wo wagidie so obetimi asomu a na so ye ne den enim say otwetwe ne nan enu ntina old man his excellency ani abre a wakase anyina sa wo chief Julius Debra adwuma wo bon ho wo hwe Carlos Tosonum wo hwe madam Valerie Soya no adwuma mo bo wo hwe mi sister special AD madam Mokhtar Bawa Joyce Bawa obi ani abre they are all working now by security side wo mia ye seniors ye from seniors but
Kofi
Boache COP amini ni ko school now we have Bevlolate which chese all of them everybody is working intine me pamucho ye nyinara omo ye omachefa no ye nso ye nye ye de because sabe me papa ne kan na sem say so bi gina wachi na se won sanka wachi nti wo horo wachi ma wa anye ye nko ade wanimi de won sabeto nti won so horo wanim men twense wo nwie wachi ansa na wa ba wanim abe horo wanim nti obia ba ye nafa but ye nyinara bomu a ana ye betimi akukuru Ghana ni aboa the policy makers His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jane for the first time ayanya oba our vice president Massa na yenjaja ya ho enko kase ehu ne yanka ade no ye de amayen omunim se betimi solve problem no ti no mudi mayen MP before say kro no enye obi na beka but ye nim eni ababaji ye ni any excuse say be say ya mayen majority 2/3 majority obiata yachi let us do the needful constitutional review was started our appointee and it was a time or the to one bibia e bi cry ahead of time ntino ne abeka ne say so far so good
okay
old man ebodjuma onim fafo nyina ebodjuma no we ministers so yi wo mo na look
obia
enimite e wo ba bia e de na kwa akose
ene kra
no obia nso buade because sebe papa no wo hwe o
ne kra
anyanso wa ma okoko o se mempe hantan
yes
so obi obekọ na wo mu obi mempe ntro di mempe kro no ye nyina nko na ye nkonko bo Ghana na daachi bi ye ni kwa ye kase asamosi mrebi obaye MPP for akufo do mbetiti kro no so mba no mbe ye ni ye minia se wutie ne ekoso na nsemo ye ba be kan bia we am nhyehyeo
ye mhyehyeo
masa utwa bra na Ghana baby ayakodu ya say yensuo ya kwanya tete apansam adwuma ni ho asuku dan ni ho electricity hey dum so say back masa bibia ye basa na se ne bai so 1.3 billion dollars 1.2 billion dollars masa uyam nshew na Ghana ye de yakotodwa gu fom na yensa de yensayem eko IMF say every quarter on my $300 million
yare ho se
enye ho a yankasa ye de sekan AC echi
yare ho
why until let's all help me de manu si was that topic you see me person me pa afenyo marking me pa ne chow
okay
so feel say where be a oral team no be che no a womra boko after all obi adikan
okay
papa ye oto asasi ye kokan ye oba no se me pa chow asasi no me to ye no me hwa asasi ne boa na to mo to ma me na ani ni diabura I don't think so asasi we se me na me di na me to ho a me to ni say ya ma obi nti mo nsa anye mo asasi ne hu song so fi se onso akoye bibia amwa ansa na ebeduru si eba betwu enei oforiata ohi
nowhere to be found
after kura de omun kase bia obawo wo mu say indefinitely nyame mpengu indefinitely no ye wuo no okwakowu ana ye mompa ye se manisa ye bompa ye se won tiapo because sikana no den ye hia sika no ne de apadwuma emamabunu no ne de ye kwan ye de ye nsuo ye de ye nyina mu ahoden emabunu no doso ye school dan ye nya BSc universities minu yanom yare ba health problems enuro abetoto ye basic hospitals bibrebe ne nya bi ade a complete agenda 1 say dem say 119 you say 114 anu eni ehwehwe
okay
ntino no omunyai say legality and legal grounds in dey minia sa question we me bisa no ma me answer na manwasi me pa cho say ukowirem na say ukokosum fidi a yedi yikusi a otwe na wansane de ne ha no wonimu wansane
aminimu wansane
wonimu otwe wonimu akwaduo wonimu akwaduo
wonimu otwe
ni wansane wo mo ya mo bi o mo ti se nwan
anase
apon wansane ti se nantwie
kese no
enti so obi ko
aboache omoche no
yes aboache no omoche no ya bi ebinya aboache ni but most of them are antelope no omoche otwe ya wo otwe ne wa adoa
okay
adoa ni na ya mfia kitin no ya kitwa kokwase otimi di na si no wada o hu so ho otwe no eso sene adoa na wansan no na ne kala ni didam fe ono oso ewirem oyakwa ese ewirem na ntwie but oso sene odwan kakra ansa na ewirem na ntwie ankasa
wo
ho masa se ukosum fidie ni nkoyi okusia na se otwe na mo na se wansan na mo a ede na ha no ora no ayesati ye no yesi ora no anwetwa munya den krono meboa obi a wakobo krono
yes
proye mpacho wo awutie yi ora mbaba ba invato
ancha me nkobo krono
enti ni so mo krono ade na hawo won ba bia me di nam no
matiasi
masa
ora ye di hun komo
ya start ano yesi ye ora ye nyina agitum se baabia nana adodankwa akofo adokwaku odi fa ye dindindi odi ani campaign eye den keta asihye proye NDC John Dramani Mama keta asihye NDC proye no ne de wo ba wo ya akokura o me pesika nyawe okay
me kai pa
o se me ya akokura me pesika me hia sika ba yenya ni na tena parliament ni de me titru de na nim se ne wo ka no eye the opposite ana wodi krono ketasi she NDC kom incompetent ebeka ho family and friends ebeka ho no mudin tro she NDC and his excellency John Dramani Mama kom ana Ghana fo etie no mutuma ma na meboa
sana etie
ana oba no so o yeden onu de ketasi she obetu ase na wo be ma Ghana fo hu so obetu ase no wo ba be establish bibi a friend say special prosecutor nyina yenim say this for the world sikasa and the ebe ye duonu de
ba be change
obewura prison masa no ye and wo do wo mia menua matina midu nyina family no de matiami du kosel ana opeso kacha matiami du samati nei sade we say no sika no etwa one side o me ntwa second side MPP for no omo de eja omo na mo mandisi for no mo twa mo no wo mo ana me pe wo mo ana Martins alamisi me ade na ode woni mi ana dabi yanya ne sa me sika na etwa so why wadwini se ye ba na ya be kata bi so na ye bia anu de dabi da niam hwini be hua niam ani be hu niam so beti se MPP o se NDC o se CPP o se UPC o se hwan yo ye ko because Ghana for Japade ene ye bo ban na ne ye ko no ye gi aba enti otena se nyina huni awieye na na akofado wodi obi ko mama na djuma afedo wa se kura homanum otwe be ko no onkoi ena Martin say hey masanya sana me madjuma se wu nim se onkrofo na pro a wo mu ne katazi se no mado musuko na se mi ko hwe na so mpene na mom only the NDC dia ne masa me madjuma sa pamno na se case baaye ohwehwe mu no se da bi da we de enye o kwa report o se da bi fra babrami na former kenoforiata ni enhwehwem ni eye no na ya je atum ni anya efa ye ho no na ye ntwetwam Martin se menya madwuma sa ene pamno twa no majai because man say sa ketase hye no proye no wo na wo ye wo ne maami a wo nkwada no ana sabi okoto wo hoyi wonwa no ma ana meboa
sanity
premier o chirebeni premier meboa nanka wo nanka onini wo onini kwakuo wo kwakuo otwe wo otwe akante wo akante wo ba fi akama wo kaman enti no pam no twa no sana minim sa wo na adodan kwa akofo ado kwaku sa corruption wo na wodi akire ana wa training kwada ni so wo mewia ene sa de a he pam no twa na adwuma no majai ana okofa awan
okofa Kisia Jabin
me pa cho Kisia Jabin start here the first press statement was so won say na akofo do animre so oba be ko proye
oh yes kata shene proye
was it kata shene proye no na na wontimi nye because nienti a okansa ni say nie wo hi obetimi di akon adwuma no na akofo do mfama no
sa no kan
workers ni investigators o hia so otwe wo mo ba no ho na omatimi aboa no adwuma no na akofo ado so mfama no ni offices kura no na akofo ado se bim na katua wo se etua ne ka no anokura mba nti ohwe na akofo ado nya ade a obetimi aboa na proye yetu ase ana meboa
sa no kan
ewiya no ye nyina wa ana Kisia Jabin ocha pawa
eno kre
e pa ocha pawa na nkamo wa na nkamo abo me yatie pawa no boy say weden nana Kisia Jabin oba chawa
pawa titenyum ne bi
titenyum no wasi de mmira so ana meko wasi wonu so ba oba be ye bi obeye na mmira so a
no
ko because who say akofo ado eni mpanimfo ni nyina ma so mo ba be ko
sa no kan
enti no pam no twa no ena akoba se akofo ado with all the corruption krono boye krono a enne ena eba out no oforia tanum wo mu do suko edi nsuo no ko hye sika no ko hye nsuo ase
asemu
ni nyina eba out na Kisia Jabin say ya hwehwem ora ansa na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama beba no oba out be kan say me musi ketase hye ana mu na mu kwan ni the word incompetent
sanity
wana kwan ni ye
baumia
muna musi incompetent
sanity
chese minima adwuma no ana mabon ana proye ketase hye kankan dream ana aswami and this sadia me ba yeso mu ba ye manya mfie nwotwe me ntu mi nansi ba bia metia me pacho munche me mumfa case bia mre me enti pabro twa no me se me ba beti ora
sanom kan
because mu ba no musi mabobusia 120 billion Ghana cedis musi mu be yi kufo de afrim 10 billion ni aka ni nyina eye Professor Mills ene me na mabo mi wadwuma bebre di kire amama hu enti mu de mu ba mu mabosia so kaisa phrase ye wosika no ha yanko babusia oforiata yentimi nkwa MF yanko ne yanko china kuma John kuma nyamemfa ni kransie yanko ne yanko china
okay bi pa
wonum wo be kwa babusia wo IMF no na wa bon wutiriawu ne nyina asi yo afa de minua yankanka adia ya babusia 120 billion na a free independence abeka His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so no mudi mfie nan mfie num mfie nsia afredi abeka ne no busie na free baby e wono eko 768 billion tifrim let's say mon kwa maboka over 648 billion.
But Alaji Mamen Conti, which is in Semana, MPC ni be second for Riata crack on a my boca, you see Casameji Nano, na ayampa.
Na say ayampa.
Someone MPs, then.
Na say nuntina ni MPs ni kazi ya nyina omo majuma. Akufo twi wo mo call Jubilee House. Eko twi wo manim. Atiti ni obetiti aka de mema obi a she ni bottom. Sanko omo say 90 of them. Sanka omo a passive vote of no confidence.
It's almost declared wanted.
Ana eba no. Sa anchanche bia woni na.
Wanafi.
Ana debia ya for the TV mine. One day
for the master.
For the master. Adey you declare wanted. Adey no say declare wanted. Anya bo say na wabo no. Ya hwehwem na say 1 2 3 4 5 dream. Report when body Ora wani nyanko kesi aje be ho.
Oni nyanko. Oni de behwa attorney general na ebedi ho dwuma. Attorney ni be.
Obeti mi na ye, obeti mi na free say opeso ade mo obeti mi de amano. Enti no wempo nyanko yo. For the 2 months short period wa ye tisa ora ayino. 2470 cases. Na man for the akoma team no. Team no also watch obi dabi why invite obi dabi wo mo ye fact gathering no ma gather ni nyina no manya no mo dia akoma His Excellency and a president so mo no so okay any a papa wey and a prosecutor hwehwem na ne office say e wo say court ni ni di no court ni na di we simple identity no so mo nyina edwane identity before kura say yen komuno na afenyo marking ene dimirika ba be ka say e unconstitutional e say adey say wonim say wonya kromfo na ye pai kromfo masa utwa wani dwane because wonim say nya wa so wonim say wo ye say paper no investigation no krofo bi wo mu a wo mo ho ka eno kura na nya conclusive ye de ko na ye kwa akoto aso eye den enti ha de obiri eboa ze obiri eboa me obunu ni na no kasa MPP ni no obiri boahin for once meni ni actually oba was aden
one ya adwen wo de kwa
o si aden yesi ate ora na me ntiem yensori ntiem was aden na me nsori ntiem sa wonya kromfo a aden was ade pa enkrofo ma bokro no ma wiewia no ana ora team no be bisa wo mu na me obiri boy amtie yi yo be bisa me say den se wonim so abokro no a na ebe wia enti ono de o support ni ne o support ni china o be support ni chinachi anu nti na America say for once against wo mu a wo mu de obuntie se ompeso wo mu use legality wo mu di court wasa we ayasembe ya fidie na chiwa na chiw ana nyesa ya invite to beseni dabi they are still into and you can afford that bra u face OSP wia na wa ko face anyini Dr. anyini ohun song mimi tie eye mameka utie obawa bechew asam no
tell me you be ahwe
nti no so onye obi ahwe a why obese okosun sini obi a ne papa ewu obi a ne papa ewu no wo abantia we na damfu no kokosun asene no ekoya na se bai na je se bibi hye bibi wo office bi a ne papa no ewu no wo hwere nti na wusu asene wo no a ne papa but minia I fully and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been vindicated. Ghanaians in they have been vindicated. Say, Ajuma na woye no woye. I didn't approval rate. Do you know the president's approval rate as of today?
No.
84%.
84%. Okay.
Of Ghanaians says that correct. This is the president we want.
Yes.
That's against 22%. How many mark for 84% approval rate for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama against 22%. To whom translate
omodwene pa.
Omodwene pa. And you know, I simple and straightforward. Ajuma ye nru baby anu ma sori dwane. Afeni ya start ye sisi kan. Enya start ye phone do. How much start ye dwane. Ka chi obi aso obi anya botre. Se unim se undi boni a ye pa kromfo na onya kromfo a me di me dokuno na mo di kromfo mi twa mani wesi anu masai se mi di me dokuno me mfa ho na se unso nim se wan wi abi a emre ni nye ntwa mu amnesty ni da so wo ho te se ne obi di ni de call ye no se me pacho asase wei omoton maami but asase ni buo no da bi da asase a yemfa ni se nke bi a ye $2 million na bi akoton ama obi 100,000 Ghana cedis aya me de yemfa to se anu de oni ni ba no se da bi we de masa monye mu ade boko and na think say so muji a they have every right to any year found usika no e de amount
sanity
na se wunim se chinchin ye pew yempew hona wo kwa ni enso se beka se ne da bi na ne onu enti fully so far so good wo mu efrefre another bena uposu iba please obianye din.
Okay.
It is not because of position and ye adwuma we papa King Nicholas was 30 adwuma nyane kakra no okosoro obia benyane de His Excellency ni ehwe from na so etie woni ye no bia ye adwuma ache nkrofo bibre your former MPs Usho obi ti se ataboade mini na ne koba na meboa nya obi ti se ashaman na body di mpo onabo ashaman ana onabo namwole ye no omo ne koba omo nyina frem sem nam ye omo papa maji atum ye nyina koba we are working to help His Excellency no achieve the Ghana we all want.
Medase Alhaji Amadu Sorogo na yetene nkanma yenko na boafo mo boae no yemfo mo de rubo na embro kakra na huma eko unim sa nyame ya adoma Friday Valentine's Day 14 February Alhaji atim mensaka ye de bro nti se utie mi a ye krado na mensaka eno na egu TV na so no afi ye ma 16,000 Ghana cedis Friday 160 million old cedis. Now, for this year, there's 16,000. It's nice all before mobile phone. Now, what dial *274*10# hash. Yeah. A *274*10# hash. *274*10# hash. Remember Dalia na ticket back could be 10 Ghana citizens. Don't forget, say the more I would dial no, and answer the more I would to ticket no. Now with chances of winning so surround echo. Tobacco be 10 Ghana citizens. So bogum be brave. Now Friday with TVXYZ so also ultimate enya sasikano. First prize and ultimate prize in a 10,000 Ghana citizens. Ghana's can 100 million. Now a 60 million old citizens can also they are spread the ama obibia and to well do metibi also benya bonus kakra e de ahwo how far Friday ye chere ye do enti ye 16,000 and Kanus can 160 million na ye chere the amobi enti *274*10# *274*10# and no beti makasa mensaka na wo so wenya sika na bi nti Friday na ye che sika na also wakasa money cash la Jean kudi sika asema broni coffee ne se me pacho cash na we no dofo so etumi ekodi ne kama Ye di Valentine's Day home komo ya na wonim say weekend dey Friday Saturday Sunday between do dofo apie na he na wona dofo na ekọ bia ye fro Safari Valley Eco Resort na make am for de amount na oba West Africa hadia wo pe Eco Resort papa oni obi endi chempedia Safari Valley Eco Resort na make am for de amount wo duru ha be pacho bebre emwa ru bebre na obi hu zebra antelopes mara just emwa hro a yentam for ye ni hu ebia ti se zoo ana se ye be hu a television so na mbo ina wo wiase wo kwa obi hu sambo ni na bi omo canal bi ho de canon beto so a wonam so na wonam nsuo no so sa waterfalls bi ho me pacho de na wudi se wo be de ye Canadian de aduane bia bi ho bibia obeda nti weekend we no dofo enkonkoda Safari Valley Eco Resort mundidi wo ho munkohwe mbo na mumma maninje omo electrical vehicles bia wutinem na ene wonam ho sa fefefe eni achiri bia o mountains here or Cre district ho no be hu Safari Valley Eco Resort and to be pacho woni abusiafo no nko wo kwa menye selfish ho ana mo change environment kakra na bibia etumi akonkan menim say weekend we no dofo be change environment no na bibia hye yenti Safari Valley Eco Resort na make am for ediamon me pacho be for reservation wo betumi afre 0596 91 4394 0596 91 4394 edini Safari Valley Eco Resort afi wono odofo nseseme munko pie bo ho na weni beje age na age biom Amuzu garlic bitters na medro so amuzu garlic bitters me pacho improve blood circulation boama moja ni die frusani ye papa so aso ne reduce cholesterol level no obi also anxiety titi so ananse na him na chewo control urinary flow no so aso na we stroke patients ebebo ye papa improve kwan obefa so ho ade obi ho a na neni so aye no wusi ni meka ho ina reduce high blood pressure na meka for amuzu garlic bitters ediamo amuzu garlic bitters funya binu ma bebo yepa Ghana henya na obebia yeton aduro Kumase de woko Misty Herbal Danny Herbal Apia Dank Herbal KNG Herbal wo mrum saso na Kolinak Herbal and wo Ashtown Freddie Benz wo Herbal and Freddie Benz Herbal shop wo Tafu Kumase and Crown Kashi drug lane so be hu na nabwachi Hello's Herbal Tenatet and Sana Kings Walk Herbal Nina won Cran Crodio mu afrefra woni Dr. Amuzundin Komo was 0247 776743 0247 776743 na bibia entumi enko enkan emfemosa Saso na me pacho bebre mega cash sa wonte di atie di sisia mega cash de instantly nti mega cash koso TV XYZ so mega cash ofa o mobile phone na dial star 426 star 5 hash star 426 star 5 hash idini mega cash me pacho wo dial ya e lucky box in be bro mega cash lucky box nti me pacho instant ono de wo ye ya ebe box natural na me pacho box obe choose na ebiem me wo mbia ye odia up to 500,000 Ghana cedis in Ghana's can 5 billion umpe we no pedien and to make come for mega cash area more dollar star 426 star 5 hash mega cash on network no so do hu rema bibia to be akonkan don't forget say we no de wundi 18 years and above wo hu enka hu umfo to me for hu shim na national lottery authority NLA so omo de omo stamp sisu team enti wudi sagria anya de ahu bia wom anya de asro bia wom na bibia etumi akonkan esa ma me fanchi akese emfemo agbesi sebefia te say wo ho siu woni o boys sitting na say o boys sitting na mo ablepe we did say bibia boko abesi sebefia nti akese nkomo nti akese so nkoma Sophie the Glamour Sophie baby Sophia mitia papa wo Medina estate opposite Atraco ehona mobeng Skylink anti vaze de ehwana de nature na ya be makeover na makeup na bibia etumi akonkan Sophie the Glamour me chichia ewie papa my member studio bio make say Richard Maribi the late comer afina wabe cancer mema na kwaba na nkoma yeto aso no Richard so ensha se wo na yehuma ko Richard mo akwaba
Amin ya Nicola Mejoso.
Yo.
Makwaba nso.
Oti regent saying. Oti na no fiba na say.
Na osim ye late.
Madina hair no fiba on mad.
Osim ye late kama. Ana gambisa say uncle obi na won kwanta ende. A 7-hour drive journey.
Antin kwanta no fiba.
Ana plan come around 10 o'clock. I will frame 10 o'clock. And imagine me nyina frame. The people will be surprised.
Oh, and why?
I drove right away from Kwanta to this place. To be a late kama. They want to say, "Ejuma me no ejuma of education me akaya me wo Sorogo for Madina for Sorogo dia." Say I want to say I want to say Madru had that. Enti otirije fo nyina ho ye. Na me fancy aka say so free Nkwanta South constituency. And about this time we Kwanda district. Before me call Bemela, I call Nkwanta North. And opa ita ma me no kasa no. You remember the time me na me around 8:30 to 9. Na me on Nkwanta. Ntuka so hia me no be say den ya to work for the country there and the party there is better. Until me huye.
Okay.
No bibia so the part of the northern region. And the region voter region for you.
Okay.
And they listen to your law.
But as papa but answer ne yebedin komono. And on the floor of parliament, honorable John Jinapo, ebisa minority ne say obusra na say wo hwe ye declare honorable Ken Oforiatta so oye wanted and compared to Messi an experience eba 2017 me pese e be kwa akwa hesa akasam for yin no na ye ba ya to ankomo no so studio ha.
You can't do this to me, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you are a leader and you should know that when something is public record, especially in this house, we do not tender any evidence. Professor Mike Okwe, then Speaker, made a ruling on the matter in this chamber. You were seated here. Professor Michael Quay wrote to the CID in respect of this matter. And so what other evidence do you want me to tender when it's captured in the Hansard? Anything captured in the Hansard, you don't tender any evidence. Mr. Speaker, I am saying that on that fateful day, Mr. Speaker, on that fateful day, when my house was raided by AK-47 wielding national security operatives, when they banged on my door, creating fear and panic, sending my 6-year-old child into a state of hysteria, into a state of fear. We had members here. They never commented on it. And I commend Professor Michael Quay on that day when he stood up and ruled that what they were doing was wrong. Mr. Speaker, they took my phone, they took my laptops, and took it to the United Kingdom to investigate me. Today, a very simple matter. You are scared of it. Mr. Speaker, let me explain something. The OSC has declared Mr. Ken Oforiatta as a fugitive. As a fugitive. Mr. Speaker, in our local language, fugitive, in our local language, it means that Wadenwa Kamura. Or, to put it simply, Wajibam. Or in the Hausa language, Otilo. Or to put it in a more simpler way, Yagudu. It's as simple as that, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, we should not be afraid of accountability. As public officials, when they took my laptop, it got to a point they couldn't even open the iPhone. I told them I was willing to come and use my fingerprint. It was then and there that they told me that the phones had been taken to the United Kingdom. I had to give them the password. Eventually, the very America that I was accused of, a minister was dismissed because it came here padded by almost $800 million. Mr. Speaker, on this auspicious day, on this day of reckoning, on this day of accountability. The only thing I can say is that we wish the man in white.
5 minutes.
The best of luck.
Is up.
5 minutes is up. The finance minister should come here and settle the scores as well as
5 minutes is up.
Thank you very much, right, Honorable.
The floor of Parliament, Honorable John Jinapo, Minister in charge of energy, Onona Okasano, or CDNT. Na minority Musro say you declare Orakeno Foriata, former finance minister, so you wanted. Na Munkai 2017 mumuni femu mujini iPhone mujini laptop or chum so or you willing so or then ho beba na iPhone record the fingerprint baby ama mom say hey say e copy mo UK sa niema ina ofemu na nde kasa mo former finance minister ne ho aka edwam a mo say montiase anase makumatu ano so ye behwe edina asem to baby e wo bia no ye betwena ba we yadia no so hu pa and OSP na kasa na mbeka ya honorable Mustafa Abdul Hamid ono former CEO de ma National Petroleum Authority ye beka ya 2016 or your press conference or so say to me rescue my Ghana. Say rescue Ghana. My question no be say don't cry
for this country.
And if I kind of
don't cry.
Don't cry no is jamokai. Says he had 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. A new cedi so.
And not see any old cedis
billion.
Any old cedis bill.
And what quadra. I had really papa. And me name am say a comedy ni pa. What's it?
It's about 160 trillion OCD.
Trillion?
Yeah, so one, yeah. About 1.6
but I come the nipa.
40 to become.
I come the nipa, Nusunku.
Na say you can penny
for
Bisudia,
Nusunku. My person, Bequer video no so. Na Abra, Honorable Mustafa Abdul Hamid, former CEO de ma National Petroleum Authority. 2016 or yes our press conference some more kind says here rescue Ghana 1.3 billion abashe bottom yesebra na yebisa ho asem ye hwemra.
Sad. It's terribly sad. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved. I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallah, inshallah, please don't cry. We shall rescue our
country. Don't cry. No, it's financial say ba. Enti de ete no ebiom ene OSP onya ahoto tumi akasa yi. Onkasa sama me hu da o. Ndo no bo ase cheche nsem na awie no. Former director Edema Ghana School of Law. Mr. na lawyer. Kweku. Asa. Asare. Kweku ansa Asare. Ono so. Jinam so OSP mompamo no. OSP mompamo no ni moye. Monsamo kekai no so mo pamo ni fi okra. No OSP no washeda. No otu no hwesi abanya etwemu kɔ no ho. Me pese ekotie sansem na lawyer Kweku Ansa Asare ono so de tu gwa former director de ma Ghana School of Law Alhaji Soruga Danfo mumenti mbra.
How many times didn't Ghanaians talk about the cathedral and the financial losses? How many times? Where was the special prosecutor? Didn't he have his ears, put to the ground? When people were screaming in the National Cathedral, where was he? When people, the newspaper, the media talked about the $58 million or something, where was he? Where was he? This one is just one of the theatrical shows that the another political party is trying to do against its opponents. We shouldn't encourage that kind of nonsense. It's incompetent. He can be removed on grounds of dereliction of duty. I'm not going to waste my time on different grounds in the OSP law. We all know what has happened. Former ministers stole millions of dollars. He did nothing. I didn't use the Yoko or the NID or the CID, or Interpol, to invite him, and the man declined the invitations What exactly has the former finance minister done to warrant this disgraceful action on the part of the social prosecutor? Can the social prosecutor tell the nation what he has done up to now? He himself must be sacked. The social prosecutor should be relieved of his position. The social prosecutor must be relieved of his position. His Muslim friend is Prophet Dami, the Attorney General. Ask him what the Attorney General has done in the period. We have Galamsey issues. What has the special prosecutor done? What has he done? We have foreigners, who are, tearing the country apart financially. What has he done? So he should make sure that he is not used by the current government, to embarrass the ministers, or the former government. This kind of theatrical show should be nipped in the bud.
Nti former director Ghana School of Law, a lawyer Kweku Ansa Asare, na yetene kan and the OSP and then some of the two ma yeti aseso Rakeno Furiata cases bear for then anima nina no boma umuhia no ma tonsa frɛ na papemba into a wanted and no assembly ansana sika ma akoso wo National Petroleum Authority former CEO Honorable Mustafa Abdul Hamid Nansema Eba enti the tenano alaji ubenum so na men ko marry bi na ye cause wo bi become one asem no answer
oya madam for power.
Okay,
na in fact wa ma men sensi form wo ka bibi say seboni si enran wantimi anso anu a ene men ka ho asem bi na na mo no because crime has no expiring date.
Yes.
Anna one take the regime ne wo hono the cruelty the way omusiti na na akufo to so a wo ye den na ukoka ne the question was in Kansasari a contemplative obisa ne say cases are papai prosecutor or the buy na dia nom dia no
manya no
wo make sure say wo be frustrating no abnada pa. Is it Abranda? What's the name?
Abranda. Cecilia Abranda.
Yam funny case no. Papa establish bibia ma bibia si last media na one friend by force to say one person one freeze one defreezing assets one funny sika man no court ni twa asem no. Eye den na papa ne ba to nyum say wono ankwa hiani. Obeye ni obetimi aye ni medru a no okọ. And then Papa Nebeka said, Akufo is not interested in fighting corruption.
Yes.
Sa time on na answer sorry. Now he. I thought he said that was the time and Kaobeba best support to Papa. Senior Papa ne kanu yensom and our person what say. So much the bonina say as at that time no went me and car. And then when you freedom when him so car yan chinano. Want minka. Is it not the same lawyers no mugu court na judges no mugu court no?
And one no.
The case no the same judges no. So what is wrong with Ansasari? And Ansasari some more say can comparison. Say what do you know what the comparison is? It Galamsey? What was he talking about? Galamsey no that is. So the mere fact is say
National Cathedral.
The mere fact is say Galamsey issues number yana. And the man in Kenya or no was setting up investigative body a day report about the man in Kenya. I'm shocked. In any case, the Ajabinda we know no. Master say open so ya juma bia na ya. These are all the side effects are unya.
Correct.
Omia no onye na juma. One establish it. And yes one day pen was sorry and was say what the tabono ato oforiata so. And I say ye declare so I wanted. Also why any obey nyina papa no ma and so bit me catch us say he's going indefinitely masa internet say 1 year na ya chechere special prosecutor ensa ani ne nan no hu say sad we wo at the time wa Ghana here sikadia yade na se menkan because afei na omuba bekom na se ko basa enokre say this amount of money akodim ayensa beka na Ghana for ne ebre ne nam IMF achi pa omu cho so my 300 million ayenim say betimi anya over 1 billion no baby. What is the problem? But when we there ba mean say ni ehunu ni ekoso afei ni ehun show me your character and then I'll show you your friend.
Your friend, okay.
Or show me your friend and I'll tell you your character. And you know because answers are where me party pa. Na minim say o you be opegana pa. Nti me nim nia ba or can we. Nia me wadwiri me say as the former director of the Ghana School of Law, the law school, one another director. I don't think say there is a law that certain environment me anya. Na say there is a change of government. Na say environment is now conducive. Maming min kateman maming ye. That is why I'm surprised. But I mean, all what I say is he can have his say. He can keep on saying and talking, but the right thing will have to be done by a special prosecutor. Conclude bi obefa so a obetimi anya na ya repatriate na bano. Also the FSA legal grounds no so. Major say na mayi tidi amaminu akuma no na onfabe entoaso.
Okay, Richard Maribi, yentiewe. Tia yenya ne say gift you or worry. Say so Mrs. so mensa. GFA so omodi aba no ye ESCO member, executive member, or no rep man, cho womba team, National Service Secretary.
No, Ghana no Register General.
No, in Register General. Make a National Service. Okay. Your worry.
Oh, ghost name, madam.
Ghost name, madam.
Okay.
Yes, so akwa brochure to aberi into muhu.
Okay.
The GFA so say siano. Omo ye by elections here replace no. I say bibi boba. Enti ma APMC sia no. Replace no. So no or representing man wo Ghana executive member you know so enti. Some about 50 80 1000.
Nicholas,
ghost names.
Okay, say proud to elections.
Maribi.
2024 elections. I'm proud to that elections. Maybe can all the media house I make say if the NDC doesn't win these elections and the MPP win this election, it will not be good for our democracy. And I can say here and Ghana for uncle to by MPP there have been fifth republic in this country because Nena can question and can you send there liberation of our slavery and can win koso. And Nicholas also and then me brapini you know he's my brother and my senior brother the honorable John Jenapo statement on the floor of Parliament. Nicholas, I was a witness to this issue in his house. Intimidation and the process of bar fear and marching at East Legon. I was there. It's not somebody that is saying it. And even all the process near Corso, I call Parliament event, even report the case to the police station and they call Parliament. Nina Corso. And up to now already issue of Parliament, the floor of Parliament. Obibia Nyashi and Fahom. And then the change of government, the MPP for Oraba, almost a Mudanko, Omuko Bulos, our Parliament, almost a special committee for investigation, almost a Mudanko. After that, the special prosecutor in the bar, almost a Mudanko. It clearly shows, say, Sabi, you bet massive pain, as a boost MPP for where I come for. And there's a fact. Because I mean, say, Mambo Crono, and I might Bonibia no Fremia, Sameba. Never Mabeka, Yamiwo, never can near Koso. The code of competent jurisdiction is there. It's a police and investigation. Police on Chinipan to move. Or fraud for investigation. So any investigation we that's who say what evidence or the court. Not what I call determine your fate. And Nicholas. And then he calls for a special prosecutor. The former finance minister and the elsewhere president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration. Ebedi Minister of Finance for 7 years in this country. To the extent say these all members of parliament in parliament actual petition 99 of them see the credibility of their party will be at stake. Who then be the president? The party leadership as that be there can authority must stand and must be there. And then Now, to say, special prosecutor from the say he has signed declaring the former finance minister for fugitive from what? Justice. Now, Nicholas, go and read the American FBI model of operating in fugitive. Right? If you go to America, this is one of the sensitive where declaration we here. So, Mukasa is Obia or Johnny. Obia not just or Johnny free justice from prosecution and arrest. That's what it means. So, when the baby Majuno, assemble chime, the home back coming. The same Johnny, no more beyond to me arrest me, and a more beyond so and prosecute him in the court of competent jurisdiction. So if you go and reach in America, what they do is that in every position in America, they have something called fugitive task force. And when the system works, and if you have a good system, and can go they are digitalized economy and digitalized economy. Maybe we have a plural body and other things with Johnny FEO before he even took power. So that is why in America and other jurisdictions, the tax force of the nose aranka within 1 minute. But then say, the special prosecutor say, what it also means is there's a red alert on Interpol. So if you don't know, don't think you are running away. There's a red alert on Interpol. So you can use your lawyers to come to make a process of delayance. We are going to fast track every investigation and every prosecution. Yeah, were evidence. There were evidence. I am trying to say about 8 years, not 9 years. For it's political persecution. What is special prosecutor can? Was it the cathedral? In some similar procurement in normal be CA. Papa no omuji say why no be enye. O say can say ambulances bi anka yede beji nipa nkwa. Ambulance anka yede beji nipa nkwa. One mass ambulance no be say ho. Now, do you think as Ghanaians should look at it and say there's some ambulance? People died in the accessibility of ambulances. Or no, you are requirement for medical health care. Okay, about ECG and the Chinese company and normal equal to see or in number 5. And they said the fugitive is who? Ken Ofori Atta. What is it about? Come also, what do you mean say? Ye freu, ya umba. After you show Ghana hanyina ye hum baby awo. What Johnny Yamutu? Say we unya kronfo a ye be say as we ne beboya. Why do you run away? Why will Ken Ofori Atta run away? What it means they say, why are they behind? So going back to what the people of Ghana was saying before, say the MPP and another Akufo-Addo, they are the ingredients of what? Corruption, and they are corrupt people. And for that, yeah, he papa na Oboboma, what they are saying, if you want to recover that money, we don't need IMF for the next 5-10 years. And I want to salute Martin Alamisi Amido. Okay, Ghana for he said it was political reasons. What did he say? He said, now the Danko Akufo-Addo, it was the president and the presidency. So when we talk about the president means that from the presidency to the government appointee assemblyman, they are mother shepherds of corruption, they preach corruption. And he further told us that the president and the presidency are the loamy soil of corruption. Loamy soil. We know the 4 types of soil. They call loamy soil. Just say, as I said, these are loamy soil. Loamy soil of corruption. He then went ahead and told Ghanaians that they are entrepreneur of corruption. Entrepreneur of corruption. And this is the clear indication of entrepreneur of corruption. So, I'm going to say, for any can dream, no call or Mampira Suya, I question don't go me. I'm going to Didra. And that was what they were doing. Today, it is clear. But the MPP went about some conformity, and that's what I first say, I blame Jane Mensah in some kind of the kind of parliamentary we have now. You ask me why? You know why? Our law says that if you want to contest as a member of parliament, you should be 18 years and above. Resident in your area for 2 years or more, and be mentally sound. So some people, if they are filing their nominations, let them bring their mental medical reports. They will start. But they will start now. You hear them doing some press conferences. But some more junior Juma, they believe in Ghanaians. My mother who sells yab in Quanta Market, that buy boxer shorts and toothpaste and toothpick and handkerchief for those guys in parliament. will now know that these people are suffering, and so the due diligence of issues must be done. But it will start because of the political expediency. And that's what just opposed to what Dr. Nsia Asare is saying. My good friend, Dr. Nsia Asare, we know your political background, but you see, you have a credibility to protect. Okay. Sure. Thursday, 1st August 2024. Nicholas,
election.
Yes.
I pray Baumian wins.
So what is new?
And Sansari.
What is new? What is new? If you go ahead and you are praying for corrupt people to lead the country, and then today, Ghanaians are saying no. It was not 57 point something percent of this country said no, we don't want them, and they booted them out because political persuasion was too much. We live in this country where your colleagues were jailed just because they claimed they insulted the first lady. That would be superior to the extent that a journalist must be jailed in prison custody. We live in this country where people, government officials that talk, they say you belong to Alan Kabarangwa. Yes. You will no more, they will cut you off. We live in this country where we, political communicators, were expressing our views in traffic, they give us slaps. And this country, when we market women, that one will say things are costing. Okay. They will seize them not to get access to travel. And the president has said, speak out. Just speak out. That's President Mahama. We accept criticism. Just speak out. I will listen. Clergy speak. Muslims speak. Businessmen speak. Everybody speak. Journalists speak. Institutions speak. And the special prosecutor now have the zeal, the moral guts, now knowing himself, being free. Speak out. And you said what? That when Galamsey was at the peak, where was him? You said what? At the time where cathedral issue, where was him? So you know there was corruption issue and never talk about it. Hey, Mr. Ansari, please, where you've trained lawyers, they are in court of competent journalism debating the issue. Don't let me look undermine people you train. At the time you saw all these things were happening, I didn't even know that foreigners were coming to run away with our monies. And at your at your pedigree, you couldn't speak and tell Ghanaians what happened because you also didn't have the right. You are afraid. And then the Abba also want to kasa. And Katitine the anka want to me. And another idea of the Bayano, to me. So we thank God the NDC has come back to liberate every ordinary person on the street, including myself and you, and never make us free. My payment 90, I'm a common robio. 8 years now, my car is tinted. Today, my car is not tinted. You see, so Paucho, let us play credibility in issues in happening. What are you talking about? Near special prosecutor can say what investigator or not believe that there's an iota of corruption and corruption related issues, no. Because sometimes ago, I mean, logical reasoning. It's not all about academics. Street person also understands some common sense. For goodness sake, don't people use your certificate to malign people's brain and think that they can't filter whatever you say. For goodness sake, let's respect the credibility of this country. Now, and this people will have left with in this country. They will bought a very disheartening video. Now remember in the case in 2016 that was happened. Ghanaians must have voted for MPP because of Sheikh. Amit. Sheikh is a Sheikh. Mashallah. Hey. Oh yeah, Islamic scholar. It's Islamic scholar who understands. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may peace be unto him, said something that if your neighbor, if you pass and you see your neighbor, greet him, ask him whether he has eaten. If he has not eaten, go and knock your colleague's neighbor's door. Maybe he has enough food so they can feed your neighbor. For all you know, both of you didn't have. And when your colleague have, all of you will be certified. And I think that because he's a Muslim, when he said these things, people when he was doing it, people know in Islam is a good giver. Yes. And people must think that this was the right person to lead another Danko Akufo-Addo to the presidency, and that's why they made him a Zongo minister. He was a Zongo minister before. Oh, yes. What did you do for the people? What have you tried to help the Zongo people? When President Mahama was looking at the gynecological issues of hospital and was training a Muslim community for medical doctors. When President Mahama was putting Arabic schools around, when we were recruiting people to learn Makarata, you said the country was not safe and you were crying. You were crying. When in my village we were getting boreholes, schools, clinic, and all those things were happening. Economy was boosting. You were crying. For all you know, not knowing 419 it be game. You crash here, people felt pity for you. You turn around and steal, loot Ghanaians' money. I don't understand why I was buying fuel for high price. I don't understand why people were dying on the way because when they are going, they got ambulance, they said there's no fuel. I don't understand why some filling station 4 days, 5 days, there was no fuel. And people couldn't get access to mobility to hospitals, to church services, to mosques. You were stealing without even doing that. You reduce the petrol price, make the accessibility of fuel. And you still are that. And they call you saying you have not received this year. You must not need to. You see, I let you know, if it's an Arab country, what do you know? They will just cut your neck. You go. Because you don't need to be among the living. But our laws doesn't permit that. Our laws permit, we are not doing kingship or kingdomic ruling. We are a democratic people. And in democracy, you must, such a person, if it is true, an investigation and be prosecuted, you must not, you don't need to live in the community. What you need to do in democracy is that you have to go and be reformed. That's why I have a reformation center. And you know what the reformation center is? People put and place prison. It's a way the prison officer will reform you. So when you come back again, you won't do the undo to make sure you submit people. But I believe that the new NDC and President John Dramani Mahama is very, 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 very careful. He's very, very, very optimistic. He wants to deliver this country from the messes we've gone through. And I know sooner or sooner, all this, the oral issues will take place. All the issues are at stake. And then we need to recover as a nation. And we can be proud. Now we could do baby some people and then also can say we are Ghanaian. Those in 8 years, because they want to see you as a Ghanaian, they want to see you as a Ghanaian, then they get surprised. I've also said something the other time. Before we left power, a Momo vendor in Burkina Faso or Togo was financially sound the Ghanaian economy. Yes, we be no Momo. Cote d'Ivoire and not Togo, no shame account money, financial stability. It was more stable than this country, Ghana. Because, look, the country was deep shit hole. You said it to people, the president even scammed Ghanaians and scammed Jesus Christ in addition. And that's what we went to. But I believe, sending President John Mahama back to the presidency, Ghanaians will be proud.
Okay. Richard Maribi, na yete den kano, a member of the NDC National Communication Team. Mamen Saimbra Alaji Amadu Sorogoho. Alaji yen share ghost name say PM wo a national service. Na national service asemno e hadrini over 81,000 names, ghost names, 81,000.
Master, me
at the beginning, we catch across 8,100.
Master,
81,000.
Me yem ashi.
On an American say a in charge of finance, not a deputy director in charge of finance, gifty or remains. On an says here, baby, Alaji, dear no kafa national service.
Unim, yes, sebi. Unim uwa. Washena. Anya ye krani ye wo history bia. A national service one a guide ye. Under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Okay. National service. This ghost name see unity. Emma, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama order probe from Professor Mills to John Dramani Mahama order probe. I'm a national service director. Me a madam fo. You had no control sales. Tamu noa former near no ya MP war Navrongui. Abuga Pele. Paga. Abuga Pele Paga. You had no control sales no. That was the time. I'm a master. You investigating my national service directors by 10.
There were more than.
No, the directors there. But a lot of them went to jail because of ghost names. And Tianina de Tuyahufo Bia Hobia Ehumbai. MPP for those days, no, Womadi Kamo campaign message. Say, Krono and Earbon was service. Until nobody will ever think, say, Obibesa ko the same national service. Now I call. I could say one masa.
Okay.
Mahama orders probe into National Service Authority ghost name scandal. Ghost names into bracket. Masa, me who you be? Nani nyina efreni. Honorable Ato, Minister for Finance. Letter aba every national service say sika we say nkrofo no dodo ni nti yi sika no 180,000 180,000 ana omede ba say 180,030
no the ba say finance
omede letter eba ye say finance ministry releases ka ana honorable atohwe no say there be anu o hye say sadia you suspect baby your head count head count is simple and straightforward simple national service secretary omo ya adwuma ni bia no oba be sign ye hu say was ye hu udin won sound obi asuro masa can you believe we say at the end of the head count no out of 180,000 and 30 no enipa 98,145.
Okay. Alaji, say we the Dr. Ayini or Attorney General Justice. Yes, so a press conference in Yenko na Yenko fan best sumanum 5 minutes na Sambra.
It funds and the offenses of bribery, corruption, or that of using public office for private gain. In the latter offenses, the individual charge can be accurately labeled as looters. In the former, it will be thoroughly unfair and actually defamatory to label the accused persons who have, as people who have looted state resources. So I thank you very much. These are the reasons for my decisions, and I will now take questions if there are any. Thank you.
Enti Dr. Ayini na yete ne nka no seminar de atodwa ma ekokoswa yedidi ho aji
ana me ka say masa simple and straightforward. Yes, see, out of 180.
Okay, Alaji say omobisa Dr. Ayini questions kakra yentimra.
Why upon resumption of office he filed a number of nolli prosequis on cases that have been pending in the courts. One of it being the fact that he thought a number of them did not have the requisite evidence. So let's go back and listen to the questions being asked.
That's what we're saying now, with you giving reasons for the decisions taken, is a standard that would continue in subsequent decisions of discontinuing cases, if you are going to discontinue any more cases from today. And then also, these persons who are affected by these cases that you have discontinued, have any of them sought compensation from the state because of what, according to you, they have been subjected to, which you say is unfair? And then also, from the reasons that you gave, especially with reference to the Atoforsen and the banking sector cleanup case, you referenced the unprofessional conduct of the former Attorney General. Are you minded or going to consider taking any action whatsoever against him if that's the position that you take, because of the description that you give to some of the decisions that he took? And maybe finally, you give very detailed reasoning for the decision to discontinue the case against Dr. Siama. With the UMB, clearly, as indicated, 300 million has been paid, 150 million outstanding, and there are already measures to have UMB, that money, unlocked with CBG. But in the UT Bank case that he was involved in as well, what reasons did you have in discontinuing that charge against him? Thank you.
Please don't follow Alfred's example. Stick to one as much as possible. Yes.
Senior, my name is Hansen Ajiman. I work with CTFM Channel 1 TV. On the first reason, which has to do with the ethics, and because you were lawyer for some of the accused persons, even though you did not represent them in court. I want to find out, would that be the posture going forward for all cases that your firm may have represented that the Attorney General's office is prosecuting? And because as a lawyer, you would definitely have to have faith in the case that your juniors will take before you allow them to do so, or yourself will do so, meaning that those cases you're going to discontinue seeing. And then for the second and third reasons, for some of the cases, people think that there are genuine reasons why the state should go against some people. For instance, for the Saglemi housing case, apart from the fact that the fact as the Attorney General's department made known that the houses were less than the number that was initially contracted for, and more money has actually been expended than what was agreed, the house or the housing project itself has stalled, and Ghanaians will want somebody to take the fall for that. Should we take it that this is the end, or you're reviewing your books to see if you can get some better evidence and even get some other people to prosecute? Thank you.
Koya Sayaba, Dr. Ayini, in charge of attorney state justice, Mekoso, Efano Yembrasem, a buying lawyer penny, ono na one media no press conference or to Sema no Mokaka, Manase betu ho na clearing agent and no church room and no one semna Yekohubi Abano na ma Ekokoso a ben moi a PP and Quine Befaswa on between Amambra Yejuma Alaji.
Na meka because amrano tia na meka so national service no yen nyina ye hudwiri yen because anya ekura bia sida amma ya punishing crofo edin crofo akogu cells MPP ban wo mudidi enketa asihye proye kankan and wo mudidi campaign edi babe tools aban wo musi family and friends so kaya ni nyinara no mo de baye ntini anya ye kura ya adwene sa anya ye kura ni de sabi omo ba sa na ma omo nye se no yes allege ntino memfa ne say ye nyantwetwe mu mani nkosi pi anita but what I can say ni say allege na say out of 180,040 national service personnel na ya hwehwe mu a head count and only 98,000 minia na 98,000 amount we cover now you can write it down aye 226 million even 227 million which is half of the payment. Look at the amount of money
Kasiebo bottom
ye save
ye di
betimi school dan hospitals and ma mo kwaji awo beds akwanya betimi potholes aye Medina ya kwanya atete betimi aye. Can you imagine this? Now we are only 1 year. Only 1 year. Go back na kwadwini ne ekoso entino me anya me won say immediately we buy no His Excellency the President order said they should quickly go into it because as if him so 81,885 nasa no kura pass away ghost names because anya no kura send say sika no ya release no can so omo
serious alaji
no the omulu about 29
yeah 227
and they were paid nobody
bottom entinu senka yankwa nkosha nkesika be about 400 and ebia 20 million na nkede ma omo na wo mo ache na ko bottom asa na nipa say ya chiwa ya kasa o yehudini a o se boy because a draw sika nkede be kwa koto aduro ama so bi yare akwa akwaje no sika nkede be kwa koto snake serum so wo waka obi okuani a wako afuo mu wako akodo apa aburaba na wo ministry ho no di no a drink e de beguso no wo waji sa sika no ahye bottom ade kwa ye wo nso no mo ya kesesem akoto kasa kese akopa ma wo mo fa kese no mo nsa guo mo so aye bi o mo na ye chairman function bi anu mo yi ogoraba simply because odiewu etia Ghana for masa me feel say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama o see nyina ma support adwuma na omo ye no I am so happy we charge the authorities omo ho no within this shortest period wo mu wiwem na wo mu mfa mechanism sento a sadie wei ebintimi nsida masa me national service my coordinator da Greater Accra region me coordinator 1983 Greater Accra region
yes Alaji you traded
me coordinator na Nicholas yakoda
na ye
man kasa me boko kra
ya hu yin
okay attend my university
you know coordinator of
Greater Accra Ghana no odwane there was nobody and then I was the special assistant to Atuko kind.
Okay.
And no Mrs. Hadia honorable Kokoya Maye. And no, I went to do it.
Okay, maybe 1 minute.
Nicholas, Nicholas, sir, is in order.
In the end,
Nicholas,
1 minute.
Nicholas, Major is in order. Major say I can or acquire the buy say within that sort of period, about 500 million Ghana cedi of the national service scanner can contribute.
Okay.
And so when scanner echo national service ni chrono amu bo hono for this 1 year na anymore. Na na bi ni mo time kwa na na bi so na na bi so hey na bi ni mo time no nti say em kwechire kakra na
but na bi time na gift your worry on the mo baba be kwe not
no gift your worry na your operations and na bi na your operations na gift your worry finance administration
gift your worry no abo 8 years
no say on abo 8 years
on the get 10 and
who say operation
local field
who say operation who call operation na say finance we be mo bi na
gift you be adin be
Enti media President Mahama wa taxi the national BNI and now NIB for send me nimu ya omo investigation and the young President Mahama time ebi buy the prosecutor mo conviction mo na me this form no mini opinion councilor ini some of the buy about the ne manasa azure the buy no Nicholas say who the obi court no evidence sa case be the 8 years who evidence
8 years
court and the attorney general disconnect here it is not big news also be US is going to continue so born 8 years
they be asem na asem for
so there's no merit in anything now it's nothing to talk about it
Aisha wine I will best say your sas cross a lot your child Aisha wine
na Gaddafi
best say your sas Gaddafi so any aje wanu mi na jo mu
but me nya ba ku Dr. KK ba e won kwanta
also
yes we branch chairman
Dr. KK ba alaji enti we na ye kombreda ye bre
chese onumpo a obeye ye no am ekosi sei enti me nua pam no twa no look amra na so John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency we need any excuse but to act. We cannot disappoint Ghanaians. Intino, in Chani de, Wawim, the chair will be a more
Madina, a station where baby are already become mountains. Why you think Bola
Pacho, Madina to Madina,
Mamma Father, and I'll baby.
And in Asia, your papa. Onunti wetimia adi sika yes adi wetimi bechina
Chief Julio
Zebra one fan sika ni so de kwa kofuru so
and that time na president
no dey kosoro ana mani nyina me wish mu Valentine because you maha says what
Medase papa Mamenda honorable Alaji Amadu Sorogo Menda as a former member of Parliament Mama Dina Sasuna Yedia Richard Maribi or National Communication Team member NDC Ekukuda mina me no mudu Mama Memfana Sema Mr. Kelvin Asante Rav Jampo Uncle Peter Meba cameras Kofi Asante Francis ene welemu na aboye chidom Nyamenshira momo boy chidom edebra wo so a wo fi a wo hwe ana wo adwam Nyamenshira papa edi amede se Nicholas ya owusi Olsen Nicholas oh yeah fast mreko abekwe